is even working. What's up, Laz? I don't know if you can hear me or not. No idea if this is even working or not. I think I have this connected to my wrong YouTube channel. Can you guys see everything on the screen and hear me? Bear with me, guys. I just got all this stuff set up over here, so I don't even know if all this is working, so give me a sec. Alright, I just realized I'm streaming this on my Amazon YouTube channel, which is something I don't want to do. So, what's up, guys? Good to see all you that are jumping in on here. I haven't made a video and haven't made an Amazon video in a while. I've been taking a break. Actually been on vacation, and the racing season, most people don't know this, but I actually raced during the year. I got a couple trophies over here on the back. I won our series last year in the Civic Racing series, and the season's been canceled, obviously, so hope everybody's been safe and healthy during this whole pandemic and stuff. But I've been stuck here at home, so I built this sim racing rig here, and this is what I've been doing, keeping my skills in check here before the season starts up again. So anyway, decided to set up a live streaming deal, so that's what I'm testing out today. I got a couple of videos. I started another channel for live streaming my online racing events here. So I meant to attach this stream to that channel. So anyway, if you guys are interested in watching me race or any other stuff that I do outside of Amazon, I try to keep these things kind of separated. So there is another channel. It's Crescent KO Media on YouTube, and that's the new channel I just started for all my racing and our virtual racing stuff. My real life racing is actually on another channel as well, which I mean I don't cross promote all this stuff between all my social media. So if you guys are following me on Amazon, you probably have no idea that I do all that stuff. So anyway, it's good to see you guys in the chat. Hope you guys are doing well. I mean, I recognize some of the names here when I talk to you guys in the forums or on in the Facebook group. So what's up, Rex? Need a break from work? Yeah, I'm glad a lot of you guys can actually still work. See a lot of my friends and some people on Facebook are stuck at home, and I worry about these people with this whole thing that's affected the whole world. So hope everybody's safe and healthy. Master PC, starting from coaching, went for gaming. Actually, I started my very first business was in online games, and that was back in 2000. I started an online gaming business while I was still in college, so that's kind of what started my whole like online presence. And that game was actually like I called it an overnight success, but that game took like a year to build. It took a lot of like new technologies that wasn't around back then, that I had to kind of put together myself, right? I kind of taught myself all that stuff, and then it launched in December of 2000, and it literally took off from that day. So that's kind of what started where I'm at today. But I've always been into cars, so I've been into racing and all that stuff. But yeah, I used to play games like Call of Duty and all that stuff, and Counter Strike mostly. I used to play like 20 hours a day Counter Strike, to be honest, and then I just got out of it because once I started my business, it took a lot of time, and because it was a gaming business, I just didn't want anything to do with games, right? So I got out of that, and so I actually had a sim rig, not of this level. This one's like a professional, like pro level gaming rig. I had like the little Logitech gaming rig with a TV, and had two of them side by side. So when friends come over, we can play for Xbox and PlayStation. So we can play like Forza and Gran Turismo and stuff like that. But back then, it wasn't that the physics and stuff wasn't as good as it is now, and so it didn't translate too well to like real life. It was too arcadish for me, so I didn't really play it, right? But then recently, when our racing season got canceled, ironically, I was actually looking at buying a sim rig like a couple months before all this went down. And so when everything got canceled, I was like, well, because we usually go traveling. It's usually like once a month that we're out racing. So I was like, well, we have no idea when that season's going to start again. So I just pulled the trigger and bought this. It's a 3-panel setup here. There's 3 ultra-wide 32-inch monitors here. So I don't know if you can kind of see it on the side. Here's the side panel here. There's one on each side. So it looks like you're looking out the side window over here. And it's a Fanatec setup here. So I don't know if you guys are into racing or online stuff, but I'm cross-promoting stuff, which is a no-no. So if you guys are interested, let me know in the chat. No, Laz, I don't drift. Drifting is something I can appreciate and respect. I have friends that do drifting, but I don't do it myself. Like I'll go watch and stuff. Our friends and I, we started with road racing and stuff, and that's what we do now. That's different than street racing. I just want to make sure if you guys are not familiar with those terms. Road racing is wheel-to-wheel racing. So there's 30 guys on the track, and we're trying to battle to cross the finish line first. Whereas street racing is when you're Friday, Saturday nights, middle of the night, illegal street racing. Okay, so no, I don't do drifting. Although I've tried it, and I'm not good at it. Sharon, a long time no see. How's it going? Let's see, what do you guys got here? Last full-time GTA 5 online. That's awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of people actually that make a lot of money streaming their games online. I had no idea they're doing that. So ever since I got this rig like a month ago, I've been playing this a lot during the day. So yeah, why not? I'll stream it and share my gameplay. I had a lot of tight races. I got my B-level license in road racing, and I'm working my way up to getting my B license on oval right now. And I saw a lot of pro drivers in here already. Actually, I was talking to Tony Kanaan the other day in one of the races at Talladega. So I've met him before. A couple of my friends, we would go every year to the IndyCar race in Portland. So we go down there. It's a big event we do all the time. Go down there and stay for the whole week and meet some of the drivers and stuff. So that's a lot of fun. Rex, you started your own YouTube cooking channel. That's awesome. How's that going? I've always wondered about those because my mom, I lived a spoiled life growing up. Like, I don't cook at all. Like, literally, I have a delivery service that comes every week and just drops off food for me, right? And so I just put it in the microwave. Like, I literally hate cooking. The worst time of the day is trying to figure out what I want to eat for lunch and dinner, right? So and I'm trying to eat healthy, right? Go to the gym and all that stuff. So I order stuff from Freshly, and so they just bring stuff to me and I just pop in the microwave. But my mom spoiled me growing up, so she made every single meal. So I just called my name and I just came and ate. So because of her, I don't know how to cook, and I love my mom. And I've always told her she should start her own cookie channel because she loves doing that, right? And she loves teaching people, and she loves cooking. Like lately, she's making a lot of desserts, like cupcakes and just like birthday cakes and you name it. She's making up things to cook for parties and dinners and stuff. So what's my racing YouTube once more? Yeah, just do a search on YouTube for Crescent KO Media. So again, it might change in the future. I really haven't planned this out too in depth yet. I don't want to cross promote my different stuff that I have going on, my online presence. Um, yeah. So where's everybody from? Are y'all from the U.S.? So I've been rambling here. I'm tempted to restart this stream back on the correct channel. I was hoping because on that other channel is literally I have 0 subscribers and I uploaded one race that I had a couple days ago. That was a pretty tight battle. Um, and my goal was just to get things set up and make sure everything was working correctly. But looks like you guys jumped online pretty quick, so thanks for supporting me. I appreciate it. Australia, cool. San Jose, Texas. What's going on, guys? I got family in Texas. I go to California. I try to go to California like once a year. I love it down there, especially on the coast. Like I love driving the Pacific Coast Highway. I was down there probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. I was gonna buy a house on the beach there, but man, they're making expensive. Let's see here. Living in Brazil, cool. Portugal. How's things going down there? It's crazy how the whole world is kind of united with this one pandemic, man. It's crazy. I got buddies, I got friends texting me wondering why the stream's not up on the other channel. I can tell them I'm on the wrong. I streamed it on the wrong on my wrong YouTube channel here. So, how's everybody's Amazon business going? What do you think about China thing? What part of it, Laz? I mean, everything as far as I know is in full swing for Amazon and like manufacturing back in China. So the only thing that's really affecting us in the U.S. or any other marketplaces as far as manufacturing is concerned is the shipping, right? So because all the like global transportation has been affected, like pretty much shut down, like the airline industry. Um, because I don't know if you guys know, a lot of almost every single passenger flight usually carries cargo, right? That's how they subsidize their revenue. So because all the passenger flights are pretty much canceled right now, all the cargo services have to ramp up their service to ship stuff globally, right? And of course, they weren't prepared for this influx of demand. So that's why prices for shipping are through the roof right now. So if you're looking to ship stuff overseas or by air, ideally you want to do it by sea if you can, and just ship small quantities by air if you have to. Um, the elephant in the room thing. Yeah, and the big thing too is even if you do ship a whole bunch of quantity over, Amazon's limiting the stock right now, right? So most categories either it still has that freeze, or you can only ship in 50 units max, and then you have to play it by year for restock. So what I do recommend, because things seem to be ramping back up here in the U.S. too. So if you can get a whole bunch of stuff here stateside and store it somewhere in a warehouse, like at your home or at a 3PL place, then you're ahead of the game, right? When other people are kind of still waiting or undecided or haven't even started their manufacturing yet, when everything goes back to normal, you'll have your stuff here in the U.S. Ready to sell, and you can ship it straight to Amazon, right? So I would do that. Are you guys hearing me and the game audio right now? It's kind of weird. Trying to get all these settings figured out.
The track temperature is decreasing. It's now 43 Celsius.
Overindulging. When are you making Amazon videos? Um, in my office over here on my whiteboard, it's completely filled with ideas right now. So I took a break because, to be honest with you guys, I did nonstop like Amazon for over a year, like a year and a half of that, because that's what I wanted to do, and then following other big YouTubers and stuff. Because this YouTube thing wasn't something I'd planned, it kind of fell into that, and I just happened to enjoy doing it and teaching people and connecting with people, and so and of course all these other big YouTubers that I was following, like Linus Tech Tips and like iJustine and all these big YouTubers, they always talked about YouTube burnout. And I never really understood that until maybe 6 months ago because every day I looked forward to coming up with ideas and what I can teach people and share my experiences with people. And then it got to the point where I started to feel burnt out doing it, right? Like I was losing that passion of creating these videos and stuff. So I didn't want to get, I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole. So I made a goal for myself that once Christmas came around, that I would give myself a break and take a vacation from it. But at that point, I still had ideas that I wanted to share in video format. So it wasn't until I think it was right around New Year's. After that, I was like, I forced myself. Okay, stop, Crescent. You need to just take a break before you actually do burnout. And so I right at New Year's, so starting 2020, I took a break from it and walked away from making videos. And but I still I'm still communicating and teaching or sharing my experience and all that stuff on my forums and Facebook groups. So if you guys are active in there, you'll see me in there interacting still. But as far as videos, what I really want to do, and I have a plan for that already, is start doing like one video a day. So during the week, so Monday through Friday. And because I was only doing 2 videos a week, like on Mondays and Thursdays, and they were like long format. So what I want to do is still stick to that, but then on the filler days, so Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, I had some ideas, like on Tuesday would be a 2-minute Tuesday video where it'd be a short, to the point, something that's going on with Amazon right now that I can talk about in a 2-minute short video. And then do like an FAQ on a Wednesday, and then like a Find It Friday deal where I focus strictly on product research. So that's kind of what I have in mind right now, and I have a whole list of ideas for videos. So yeah, look forward to starting back up and sharing that with you guys. What do you think about the commercial war between the U.S. and China? Do you think it'll affect e-commerce? If you're talking about like the Trump tariffs and all that stuff, I don't know if I want to get into the politics of that. Yeah, I don't know if I want to get into the politics of that. But as far as e-commerce of it, it's still cost effective to source overseas. Bottom line, that's still going to be the best way to do it. And the thing is, it doesn't always have to come from China. You can always find manufacturers in like Vietnam or Thailand, Taiwan. I mean, the quality and service is top notch from those countries too, right? India. Okay. The thing is if you want to source locally, I don't know if you're from the U.S., but like in North America, the like communication and costs communication and turnaround time is going to be excellent, right? And the quality is usually unquestionably good. Hang on one sec. I'm on a live stream right now. Sorry, I got Discord going here too. The thing with North America is that the cost will be through the roof. So unless you can't find... I accidentally started my iRacing stream on my Amazon YouTube, so there's a bunch of people on there talking now. So I'm answering the questions.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to it.
Yeah, I'll see you in there. So unless you have to, or you can't find any other options, then I'd still recommend sourcing overseas. Okay. Azim, what's up, buddy? How's it going? It's always good to see you. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, Azim, I answered your question in the students group. What what was your question again? Something about 50 units. So ship what you can, right? So if you've already got your manufacturing done, ship it, ship the 50 units to Amazon, or ship all of it to a warehouse and then have whoever your warehouse service is split off a 50 pack carton and ship that to Amazon so you can start selling right away with FBA. And then if you want to do FBM, which I do recommend, then you can have that 3PL warehouse, for example, Prime Zero Prep. They'll be able to do that for you. They'll be able to fulfill your orders and store that inventory for you. And you can do FBA and FBM at the same time until this whole issue with Amazon limiting the shipping inbound shipments right now when that ends. Okay. So how do you join the Facebook group? Okay, and overindulging the Facebook group. Here, let me paste the group here for you. YouTube chat. Okay. Hold on a sec, guys. For me to paste something, I have to sign in here. I'll have to pause the chat. This is all new to me, guys. Say something. All right. Okay. So this is my Facebook group. If you're not a member of it, go ahead and join it. You know, the thing is, I try to answer every single question there. But as this grows now, it's getting more and more difficult to spend more time on each individual question, right? But if you do post in there, just know that I will eventually see it and I will answer it. Oh, what's up, Justin? How's it going? So, yeah, I didn't know you followed me on my Amazon group here, but Justin's one of the old school guys from what I was telling the rest of you guys on that were in the earlier part of this chat. My first business was online video game, online gaming. So he was one of the original players from back then, and he's still around. So good to see you. Good to see you, man. Good to see you too, Azim. It's good to hear that you're still making progress. Yeah, Jesus, I did a couple live streams back in the day. Um, but for whatever reason, I don't know. Everybody has their insecurities, right? So, I mean, I'm not afraid to admit it. So, you know, it, this was an accident. I just happened to start this live stream with you guys. I have no problems doing it. But yeah, it's something I've considered. I just never did. I did in the past for a couple weeks. I did it way back in the day, like maybe 2 years ago. But yeah, I've only stuck to production videos. So, do any of you guys into the online racing? So I'm just switching servers here on iRacing. That practice session ended. Yeah, just know, Azim, that if you do FBA and FBM, you're gonna have to create another listing, right? Um, because each listing can only be set to one or the other. So if you have one as FBA, you'll have to create a second listing or a variation, whatever, and then set that one to FBM to separate the two. Good to see you too, Azim. This is gonna be funny. I can see it already. Um, Everybody that follows me on Amazon is gonna be like, "What the hell is Crescent doing?" Man. I understand, man. I started there too back in the day. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in a middle class, lower middle class family too, right? And you really don't understand that when you're growing up, but I had to work jobs. My first job was, had a paper route and delivered papers in my neighborhood, and I worked at McDonald's. But you need to have that passion to, make a move. You got to do something. So, yeah, went to college, and the whole 9 to 5 thing wasn't for me. I always say my laziness is what drives me because I'm always looking for the most efficient way or the better way to do something so I can do less work. So, yeah, man, that's what inspired me to learn coding and create that first game that I had. And I think Justin Teed here can attest for it. That game, I mean, there's over 1 million people playing back in the day, playing that game. So, and I didn't think it was going to turn into anything like that, but that's kind of what started, you know, uh, kind of put me where I am today. So, um, and the thing is it's so much easier, in my opinion, to start a business now because there's so much more knowledge and information out there. I mean, basically at your fingertips, you have a plethora of you have access to pretty much anything in the world, right? If you want to learn about any topic, there's endless amounts of resources for that, whether that's for business or learn a sport or play an instrument or whatever, right? Or even just cooking. When I started, this is over 20 years ago now. There wasn't YouTube, there wasn't Facebook, right? Yeah, there was internet, but there wasn't Google. I still had to go to the library, had to read documents and stuff to figure out how to learn new technologies, new code. Yeah, you got to have your own drive and ambition and passion and do it yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. Um, Overindulging. Yeah, let me jump on there and approve your friend request or your membership request here. What's your name, Laz? Sorry, overindulging on in the on Facebook. Oh, thanks. Appreciate your feedback, man. I'm glad you find the content helpful. Let's see. Yeah, I got like hundreds of requests on here. So if you can overindulging, if you can tell me what your name is, I can do a search real quick and approve your request. Elliot. All right, here. All right, you have access now. Laz, buy a ski mask? No, man, you don't want to go. You don't want to turn to a life of crime. Or if you do, make sure it's the biggest score ever and don't get caught. Right? Yeah, I mean, what comes to mind is still when I lost over, oh my God, I lost almost $15,000 on that BitConnect thing. And every now and then it'll pop up in my mind because it still has a sour taste in my mouth. All these scammers out there, and I can't believe I fell for it. But no, you make money legitimately. All right, it's definitely harder to make that dollar, but it's definitely worth the effort. Okay, you're welcome, Elliot. What's up, Azim? I thought of staying back on this live to ask for questions that I feel important to me. I used to be who's young and not good at. Let's see. Azim asks. Oh, I guess you guys can see the chat, huh? I don't have to read it out. Um, what would your advice be to me who's young and not good with traditional success, like education? I'm not sure what you're asking. What do you mean that you're not good at traditional success, like education? Um, I mean, I assume from the my YouTube channel here for Amazon, everybody here has a business mindset, right? Everybody's trying to make that dollar and get out of that data at the 9 to 5 grind, or at least avoid it somehow. So you need to have that drive and ambition, right? Whether that's fear of being stuck in a 9 to 5 job for the rest of your working life, or you're experiencing it now, you want to end that cycle, you need to set aside some time and do it, no matter how frustrating or scary or whatever that fear is. You got to overcome it, because like I said earlier, no one's going to do it for you, right? So for me, it was that same thing. It's like I didn't want to do the 9 to 5. I don't want to wake up in the morning and have to go to work, right? And I experienced that when I was working like in high school, working at McDonald's and then getting up at like 5 in the morning, go deliver papers, and it's not the lifestyle I wanted, right? And I didn't realize it back then. I don't even think I knew what the word entrepreneur was back then. But I was like, and like I said earlier, it's like I was always finding like easier ways or better ways to do something, just because I'm lazy, because I don't want to put in that physical effort. And so because I'm always thinking and innovating and coming with these ideas to do things better, that's what drives me to you know to better myself, to learn things, to educate myself. If I'm curious about something, I'll Google it, I'll learn it, because you can never know too much. You can never have too much knowledge, because you can apply that information to whatever aspect of your life, right? So, um, like I said before, as far as education, I would never tell someone not to go to college, um, because I went. But to be quite honest, you don't need a college degree to learn whatever it is you're passionate about. Okay, whatever skill it is, there's avenues online for you to learn it, and then for you to actually, practically do it. You just need to have that ambition and drive to go find that information. Okay, so I'm not saying don't go to school, because if you do want to be a lawyer, doctor, engineer, whatever, you do need those credentials. But as far as if you want, a career in business or finance, stuff like that, then you can definitely learn that on your own, like practically. Like find someone that that is a business owner, a successful business owner, that might answer some of your questions or take you under their wing, teach you the books, accounting, management. You need the management skills, right? Um, yeah, stuff like that. It's all out there. You just got to do it yourself, and you can learn from your own hard knocks. Like I said, like a lot of this stuff I learned on my own, and you don't know how many business ideas that have either thought of and didn't happen, or money and time was put into it and just failed. I can't even count how many. Okay, you got to go out there and put yourself out there and try, because if you don't try, you're not gonna be successful in anything. Okay. Um, I'm young, so I have a lot of time on my hands. So I have the choice to carry on doing what I'm doing or leave this job. Okay, well, this is the thing. The job you have right now is security. Okay, so whether that's a steady paycheck or it has medical other benefits or whatever. So I wouldn't just throw that away on a risk. Okay, again, there's always going to be some risk, but until your side job or your side business or whatever you're doing on the side, whether that's Amazon or whatever, until that's going on its own for at least 6 months, and you have a safety net saved up in your bank of like at least 6 months. I mean, most people will tell you 3 months, but I would go at least 6 months of where you can have enough bankroll that you can pay all your bills. I wouldn't quit that job. Okay, it's going to be a lot of work because now you're working double time, right? You're doing 8 hours or whatever it is at your day job, and now you got to put in the time mentally too, right? To do your side job, whatever that is whether that's Amazon or Shopify, eBay, whatever it is. But just know that that time you're putting in is scalable and is bigger because the money you're making on your steady paycheck right now is tied to the hours that you put in. The moment you stop putting in those hours, that money stops. And that's the worst that's the worst method to make money, right? The only way to really become wealthy is to separate the hours from the dollars, okay? Yeah, Tony Robbins, I follow him as well. You guys should follow him on. He has a podcast. Uh, Follow him. Dan Locke. Follow a lot of guys on there. Um, well, your passion is making money, right? But just don't turn that into something that you're not. A lot of people say that money is the root of all evil, but it's not. Money only exacerbates the type of person you are. If you're a bad person and you suddenly come into a lot of money, it'll just make you an even worse person, right? If you're morally good, you're a good person. If you come into money, you're going to be a better good person. Okay, so don't think of it as some bad omen or something, or morally, bad to want or to have a passion to make money. There's nothing wrong with that. You really, if you want to help the world, it's going to take money to do it, right? A lot of people are like, oh, you don't need money. Well, if you have a family member that's in the hospital, it costs money to pay the medical bills, right? The surgeries aren't free. Okay, if someone's starving, your hugs and kisses isn't going to put food on the plate, right? So the more money you can amass, the more you can help people. All right, so use that as your passion. 239 fun. Crescent still doing Amazon? Yes, every day. I just haven't made a video since January. Azim, how old are you? Because you don't need to put a time frame or so much pressure on yourself, right? Because I remember when I was young, I didn't know what I wanted to do, right? I mean, to be honest, I did. Like, I wanted to be a fighter pilot. My dad was a fighter pilot, and I come from a military family. But my eyesight went bad, so I was in air cadets, and I basically dropped out of that. So yeah, I mean, my camera's kind of stuck here, but I got Top Gun stuff all over the place here as my passion. That's why I got into cars, get that speed. I'm a speed junkie, right? Do all that stuff. But you don't have to have a set goal. I mean, I think you're young, right? You're 21. Yeah. So, man, when I was 21, I didn't know what I was doing. At 21, I was partying in college and going to parties and trying to hook up with girls and you know playing sports. I played volleyball for the college I went to, so we're doing all that stuff, right? Just enjoying life. When you're young, just do what makes you happy, right? So it doesn't mean you should forget about your future goals. The one thing I do regret is school doesn't really teach you how to be financially responsible, right? So I really messed up my credit when I was younger and stuff too. It took a while to fix all that, but it just takes meeting the right people, and wanting to make those changes in your life. 239. Yeah, actually, I think you just joined. So earlier in this stream, I was telling these guys I do have a plan to go from two videos a week to 5 videos a week. So I just been taking a break because I felt like I was getting YouTube burnout, which is what a lot of the bigger YouTubers that I follow said that they all went through themselves too. Um, and so I didn't really understand what that was until I started feeling it myself. I felt like it became more work than my passion. So I forced myself to take a break the first week of this year to stop making videos and just kind of enjoy my life. So I've been doing random things and, you know, anything other than making videos. So yeah, but during that time, I have been putting together a plan on what I want to do when I restart it. So I want to go back to making 2 long-form videos on Mondays and Thursdays, but then on the filler days, on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, I have ideas to for 3 additional videos a week. Yeah, the thing is it's funny because on the top of my goal board, I put have more fun, and that's been there for like a year. And I've been just a workaholic, for a while now. I mean, I was taking like maybe one vacation a year, and then just last year is when I started just whenever anything came up, I would just say yes, let's just go do it, right? So the older you get, the more you realize, you don't know when your last day is gonna be. I'm healthy, don't worry about it. But it's like, you go travel, see the world, go do things that you wouldn't normally do, go hit some stuff on that bucket list, right? So um, yeah, that's what I've been doing. And what's funny is the other day I actually watched Yes Man, that movie with what's his face that's in it, Jim Carrey. So I'm like, oh hey, sounds familiar. So I highly suggest people adopt that strategy or mentality if you can. Even in a small way, if, see your family, friends, take that little walk or weekend trip or something. Go enjoy life. Don't get so focused on work, right? Because I remember when I started my very first business, I gave up pretty much everything. I mean, I would almost say I lost friends during that year when I was building that game. Um, because literally that's all I did. Like I just sat in front of the computer and wrote code for a year. And friends would call, I wouldn't answer, or they would show up at my house, and you know basically hang out with me at my house, but I wouldn't go out with them, right? So yeah, I mean, don't do that. I'm not. I mean, of course, that's what kind of led me to my first business, but um, if I were to do it again, I wouldn't have been so extreme. But I was young. I was only 21 or 22 at the time. Does anyone let you know what your stock limit is? No, it's it says that it's limited and it doesn't tell you the amount. So what happens is you go create the shipping plan, and then it's gonna ask you if it will allow you in that category. You can proceed through, and it's gonna ask you to fill in how many units you want to send in. And if you put in like 100 units or 1,000 units and hit submit, the very next page will say it's limited quantity right now due to blah blah blah, but it won't tell you that it's only limited to 50. So if you put less than 50 or 50 or less, it'll let you go on to the next step. So I don't know why they don't just tell you the exact amount. um, I'm 7 months away. Well, congratulations. I'm glad you were able to launch a product during this time. So I assume it was considered an essential product, not a non-essential one. So congrats on that. And you're 7 months away from your initial passion. What's that? Oh, you're a karate coach. Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, I studied Taekwondo for many years. Um, let's see if I just move the camera up a little bit here. You can see here's some of the trophies that I have. I used to compete in Taekwondo, and so there's some of my gold medals. And I was a state champion in Taekwondo back in the day. And then there's some of my racing trophies and stuff over there. If you guys can see that or not, it's kind of blurry. Samantha, do you only order the amount they request for? Are you talking the restriction from Amazon? I wouldn't. If you're doing private label, I would do a full order. So if that's 500 units, 1,000 units, whatever it is, I would order that amount just so you can get the better unit pricing, and then figure out where you want to store it for now, and then ship in uh, uh, like 50 units at a time. Is health and household category considered an essential? It really depends on the product. Okay, so like every one of my products, I couldn't ship anything in for like 3 weeks, and then a couple of them got unlocked like 2 weeks ago. But again, it has the 50 unit limit as well. And mine are in the house and in the home and garden kind of kitchen category. So it really depends on the product. Uh, Yeah, yeah, Taekwondo. Um, I lived and breathed it. That's all I did when I was competing, like literally every single day. Um, yeah, yeah. So I'm sure you can understand. So, um, but it definitely teaches you to be mentally strong, physically strong, be respectful. Um, yeah. uh, it, the thing is, I haven't. It's been a long time since I took. Wow, since a long time since I've even been in a dojo. So, in my mind, I was talking to my friends just not too long ago. I was like, in my mind, I still think I can do everything, but I'm pretty sure that I'd probably hurt myself if I try to do something now because I'm definitely not as flexible and agile as I used to be. Do you recommend your supplier to send it to storage? Yeah, that's the cheapest way. Because if you have your supplier break it up, um, it's probably going to cost a little bit more on that smaller shipment than if you just included it as one shipment and sent it to a warehouse, your home, or a 3PL service. Okay. Yeah, I went back and took a little bit of jujitsu and stuff, and my body definitely wasn't what I remembered. But if I was gonna get back into martial arts, that's something that I want to do. Just because, through the years I've realized that the more rigid arts like karate and taekwondo and all that, it's great for mental and physical strength, but not too applicable to real life scenarios. So just something I've been mulling over in my head. Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, Trisha. It's just part of operating costs, right? Because there's no way to really know what your PPC is going to cost, and that's probably the most money you're going to be spending in the beginning. And again, that cost is an unknown because it really depends on how competitive that niche is, um, and whether or not you picked a good product niche or not. But the thing is you should be optimizing those campaigns. So over time, as each week or two goes by, you should be reducing those costs by eliminating those keywords that are eating up the majority of that budget. One thing I want to point out too, not all products are going to be profitable with PPC. One of my products, I mean, I don't know, I can't remember how much I spent, but it was like close to 2.5 months worth of optimizing, and it just wasn't profitable. So I don't even run PPC on that product. Yeah, Naret, I think that's how you say your name there. You don't want to be a perpetual um, like content consumer, okay? Because that's you're never going to get anywhere, all right? So at some point, you're going to have to take that step and do something with that knowledge. So the thing is when you go to learn anything, whether that's business or a sport or whatever, what I recommend is get a good general knowledge or overview of what it is, but then focus on what's directly in front of you, right? Because there's no point in learning something that's 10 steps ahead that you're not going to encounter for 6 months or even a year from now or even 2 weeks from now. You need to tackle what's directly in front of you so you can master that part of it and progress to the second step, then the third step, okay? But it's good to know what's coming up so you can be prepared for that, all right? And just know that knowledge, it's going to be it's endless. It's a black hole. So no matter what you try to do, you're never going to learn all of it. Okay, so you just got to understand that once you know enough of what needs to be done in the very next step, take that action to complete that step. Okay. I already ordered from my supplier and the units more than Amazon can store. Okay, well, the thing is did you create the shipping plan? Was the shipping plan that you used created before they imposed the limit? If it was, then you're okay. All right. If it wasn't, then you shouldn't. Then they're gonna probably hold that shipment, and you're probably gonna have some penalties, or they'll ship it back. Um, is there any good sourcing for Amazon? Jay Sung. Yes, there's a lot of places to source outside of China. There's a place, Alibaba actually has a separate website for marketplaces outside of China. So, for example, there's India.alibaba.com, there's Vietnam.alibaba.com, where you can look. It's basically Alibaba, but for those other countries, right? Now, if you want to search for, like in Canada or the US, you can use Google and just type in the product you want to manufacture with, like, manufacturer or supplier or wholesale in that search term, and it'll pull up different suppliers for that. Samantha, well, we'll do the inventory. So yeah, I mean, again, if you want to tell me if that shipping plan was created before the freeze or not. Okay, so we had 14 sales, 239. Were they organic sales or through PPC? 140% isn't too bad. I mean, obviously you want the ACoS less than your profit margin, right? So what I would be doing is after 7 to 10 days, analyzing those reports and then try to optimize that campaign. Still waiting for the first review. Yeah, make sure you sign up for that early reviewer program, and then I'm not telling you what to do, but if you have friends and family and you're super careful, have them leave you that first review just so you have some social proof, and then make sure that you're writing the review and having them post it, right? And if you can take a photo too, so there's photos in that review, that would help. Startup product ideas. Laz. So sky's the limit. There's just certain categories I stay away from just because of the level of competition, how quickly that market turns around. return rate, stuff like that, I stay away from. But unless you're in a specific niche or a specific brand, where you're doing a lot of vertical products in that niche, then sky's the limit. I would just look in every single category. um, Azim, thanks for your feedback. You're welcome, man. I love chatting with you. I do wish you guys the best, Azim. So definitely, I love talking to you and your brother all the time. So again, if you ever have any questions, just post them up, right? And if you post them in the students only forum, I try to answer them within the half hour or hour for you guys. Okay. Um, Okay, 239 PPC. Okay, so if those sales are all from PPC, that's great. So the thing is with PPC, the advantage of the sales you're getting through PPC is that the buyers are paying full price for it, right? So you know they're not incentivized um, to make that sale. So you know that you're onto something good, whether that product is good, you've done a good bundle, you've done good listing optimization, the price is good, or whatever it is. You're doing something good that someone's willing to pay full price for it. So at this point, I would work on trying to lower that ACOS and then increase that the sales velocity so you can get your listing ranked. Once it's ranked, you'll get better organic sales. Um, Samantha, I think you mean why Amazon hasn't taken them down. The thing is with counterfeit products is it's up to the IP owner to file the claim. So Amazon doesn't actively look for counterfeit. So someone has to report it and file a claim that that listing or the product is fake or counterfeit, and then that's when Amazon will take it down. Okay, so that's why never always do your own due diligence to make sure you're not getting involved in someone else's IP. Well, hey, say hi to everybody in Hong Kong for me. I spent some time over there like a couple years ago. I served for like 3 months. So it's beautiful there. Hot, but beautiful. Hope everything's safe. Um, and Samantha, how much more expensive is air shipping than sea shipping? Well, as of right now, due to the pandemic, it's considerably more. Depending on what it is, it can be double to 4 times. So if you're not in a hurry, or if you can plan ahead, then it's advantageous to ship by sea right now. So if you're not in a hurry to have products stateside, then ship it by sea. This is funny. We've been on a live stream with you guys for like an hour, and I totally wasn't even planning on it. I'm having fun. I don't know about you guys, but I can keep going with this stream if you guys still have questions, or um, I really didn't have a plan. So what's up, Nahi Kim? I don't know if I said your name right, but welcome to the live stream. Okay, so best of M. What do you do when you relaunch? So if you ran out of stock and it wasn't very long, like a couple days to a week or so, your listing rank probably hasn't slipped much, right? And again, it depends on how competitive the niche is. So what you want to do is open up your listing again, and then once you have stock, Amazon's re-inventoried your new supply. Then if your listing slipped, you can do another small product launch, like do a promotion of some kind, or run some more aggressive PPC just for a couple days, 2 or 3 days, to generate just a few extra sales velocity, build that up, and then Amazon, their algorithm kind of remembers where you were, so it kind of sets you back up to wherever you were ranked before you ran out of stock. Great. Where are you from, Nahi? How much capital should I use for my first FBA product? That really depends. So it really depends on the product, the niche, and what kind of sales that niche is doing, how much volume they're doing every month, right? So you need to factor in that volume, the monthly volume, with the lead time with the manufacturer, and so you hopefully don't run out of stock if it does sell through. So based on those numbers, you'll know how much money you're going to need to order that quantity. Okay. Yes, we can. Yes, we can achieve. I before E. I'm a stickler with spelling. Where have you been? I've been taking a break from making Amazon videos, but it's good to connect with all of you guys here. This is a total accident. So all of you guys that are new, that just joined the stream, I actually started a new YouTube channel for my sim racing, and I was planning on testing that, but I accidentally live streamed it on my Amazon channel. So, what's up? But I've been taking a break from making Amazon videos. So, if you're wondering where I am, I'm still here. I felt like I was getting burnt out doing that, so I took a break. But I do have a plan on coming back, and instead of doing 2 videos a week, I have a plan on doing 5 videos a week. Okay, so one video a day, Monday through Friday. Do you still pay storage fees when you run out of stock? No, you do not. So the storage fees are averaged during the month. So if you're out of stock, then obviously you don't have anything taking up space. Okay. Is sea shipping slowing down because of the virus? No, all shipping has ramped up, right? Because product still needs to move globally, right? So the only thing that is really affected is the air cargo, because a lot of cargo is normally shipped through passenger airlines, but because all the airlines are pretty much shut down right now, only the cargo airline services are moving the entire cargo for the whole world, and there's not enough planes or flights to move it. That's why air shipping has gone, the cost of that has gone up through the roof. Okay. So I'm just curious, did you guys get a notification that I went live or something? Is that how you found this stream? Or you just happened to click on YouTube and see it? Did you have much capital?
Hey, cabron.
Did you have much? I'm still on the live stream. Yeah, I mean, I have other businesses, right? So I have Samantha. So, I just, it's funny because I'll just give you a cliff notes of it. So, um, when I started my Amazon business about 4 or 5 months before that, I was trying to find another source of income, so another revenue stream. So a couple of friends and I, we decided to throw some money around just to see how much money we could make, and that's how I uh, stupidly threw a whole bunch of money at BitConnect, and that's when the whole Bitcoin thing was going through the roof. And literally, like a month before I discovered Amazon, is when I lost close to $15,000 on Bitcoin, right? And so I was pretty bitter. And so to try to make that back because of all my search history and stuff on YouTube and on Google and stuff, all these business type videos were popping up on my feed. And so that's when the Amazon stuff showed up. So that's when I started clicking on the Amazon videos, and that's how I discovered what Amazon was and how Amazon actually worked, because obviously I have an Amazon Prime account back then, so I was buying stuff on Amazon, but I didn't understand how that the FBA and all that stuff worked. So once I realized what it was, and I was like, oh, this seems like it's a pretty lucrative business, and I already have decades of experience with e-commerce and the internet and stuff. I was like, let's throw some money at it. So yeah, so capital wasn't an issue for me. So that's kind of when, yeah, it's kind of why I think I had a leg up starting Amazon. So I have prior experience with e-commerce, and yeah, so I just threw a bunch of money at it. So my first investment was I think it's just under $3,000 or something like that. But yeah, the first month it was profitable. I made it all back in the first month. So lost my job recently. Sorry to hear about losing your job. Was it because of the pandemic and you're furloughed or something, or laid off? Ray, what's up, Ray? You're welcome. Why the score niche changed super fast? For example, this. Okay, so again, all the product research tools out there, they're estimates, right? And so they're taking the data that it sees. Some of them are cached, meaning it updates in intervals, and some of them are real time. So the Chrome extensions and stuff are typically more real time. Whereas the product databases are cached, so they get updated on based on an interval, whether that's a couple of days, a couple of hours, or weekly, or whatever it happens to be. So depending on what's going on at that specific snapshot of that niche, you're going to see that niche score vary based on those listings that are there. So that's why in my videos I never recommend basing any decision on those scores. Okay, so that score is just for a reference. I would never base any decision on that. You got to actually analyze the data. Okay. Best of M. Yes, I got a notification. Cool. That's good to know. How does sales tax work if each state have their own sales tax laws? Okay, so depending on the state you live in, Amazon might be withholding those taxes for you, and they'll submit it at the end of the year on your behalf. Otherwise, you are responsible for withholding tax and submitting it on your own. The thing is, it varies by state. And I'm not an expert at that. I'm not trying to pretend that I am, and I don't want to give bad advice. So my advice to you is talk to a tax professional so you don't get yourself in trouble. Okay? It was recommended. Did you? So Wyatt, so cool. Guess if you're not originally a subscriber, well, welcome. Nice to see you. Do you manipulate the search algorithm at all? Are you talking about YouTube or Amazon? Wyatt. Sorry, I was cooking. I'm from Vancouver. What's up, Nahi? You're from Vancouver, BC? I grew up there. So, really FBA, but can you teach us how to optimize Facebook ads? Okay, so that's a whole other topic. Maybe I can make a video on that or something. But the key to Facebook ads is having a proper targeted audience. So if you have, a list of previous customers, or an email list of some kind that you've built in a niche community, that can really help extend the power of every dollar you're spending on your ad, because those targeted audiences are the ones that the more targeted it is, the more likely they're going to buy from you. Okay. Do you play COD Warzone? No, my buddy actually that just hit me up on Discord. He's been trying to get me to play Call of Duty and Tarkov. So I've seen it, and I used to play Call of Duty and Counter-Strike, like before there was Steam, like way back in the day, like before there was even high-speed internet. Okay, we used to play Counter-Strike on dial-up. That is a while ago, and I was addicted to that. I played that like I said earlier, like 15, 20 hours a day. Literally, it's all I did. I would eat at the computer desk. But then once my first business kind of blew up, which was in online gaming, I kind of fell away from games just because that was all my life. So I just stopped playing games and stuff. So it wasn't just till recently that I kind of got back into it. Literally a month ago with this racing rig that I have here. For the new guys on the stream, if you're wondering what this is, it's a racing simulator rig, and I'm testing out. My plan was to test out a live stream of my virtual racing on my other brand new YouTube channel, but I accidentally turned the stream on for my Amazon channel here, so that's why we're chatting here. Okay. Yeah, laid off Samantha. Okay, well, sorry to hear about that. Yeah, hopefully when everything picks back up, if you still have a position there, that's great. Ray, I appreciate the answer. You're the best. You're welcome. Only 500 units. You can only send. No, Samantha, it's 50 units. 50 right now. Nahi, yeah, Van City. Actually, I grew up. I was born in Taiwan. And then my parents brought me to Vancouver when I was 1 year old. And then I lived in Vancouver until I was, how old was I? 5? So I was 5, and then we moved to Burnaby, North Burnaby. And so I lived in Burnaby, went to Burnaby North High School until I graduated from high school, and that's when I moved to the U.S. And I went to college here in the U.S. Mr. Cheap, how do you send your inventory now that Amazon? It's still the same. So you just got to create a shipping plan, and when you go to send replenish inventory, when you click that, if it will let you, you can proceed through. If you're in a category where it's restricted still, it'll say that you can't send anything in. Okay, and on the ones where you can send in inventory, it's most likely on a limited quantity. You can only send in 50 units, 50. We appreciate if you did a video on Nahi. A video on what? And thank you on answering my question. Let me scroll back. I can't remember what you asked me. What did you ask me? Yeah, this is crazy because I really don't do live streams, and I joined some live streams, and there's like 1,000 chat messages just scrolling past. I don't even know how to answer those questions. So let's see. Yeah, I don't know what you asked me. Oh, optimizing Facebook ads. Right. Yeah. I do have a video on that in my course, but I haven't. There isn't one on my YouTube channel. Do you recommend individual seller plan? Always get the professional account, Samantha. I know it's $40 a month, but you don't have access to any of the additional selling features if you have a individual plan. Okay, and if you try to sell private label or wholesale, whatever, as an individual plan, the fees will outweigh that monthly Amazon account fee. Okay. Based on data, the product is okay, but in Keyword Scout, this is very difficult. Okay, well, with Keyword Scout, the ease to rank is based on the algorithm believes how many units you need to move to get your listing ranked. Okay, and that's based on the competition. So again, I don't have any of the data to look at, so I can't really get into specifics on it. But generally, the less competitive the niche is, it'll be easier to rank, because there's less competition. There's less competition for the PPC keywords, PPC keywords for those campaigns as well. Okay, so it makes it easier to rank that listing. Do you think FBA might be saturated now? No. So yeah, people ask that a lot. FBA is never like Amazon or e-commerce. It's not going to get saturated, man. If you look at some of the data, like literally 1 out of 4 Americans has an Amazon Prime account. Okay, and how many sellers are there on Amazon? I think the last time I looked, it was only like um, 100, like 6 digits, 150,000 sellers or something. I don't know. I mean, it's literally exponentially more buyers than there are sellers on Amazon. And as it grows, it's literally exponentially gapping the number of sellers. So, I think last year there was like 10 million new Amazon Prime accounts or something. I can't remember, but there was only like 100,000 new sellers. I can't remember the exact numbers, but yeah, and Amazon's only going to get bigger. Okay, and people are inherently lazy and they want immediate gratification. I'm one of those, so I would rather just order something online, not have to go anywhere, talk to anybody, and have it show up at my door. I mean, half the time I forgot I bought something, and I open the door and there's something sitting there. Oh yeah, I forgot I bought that. Okay, people are just gonna. It's just they would rather do that. So that's where the industry's moving to. Okay. Let's see. Samantha, yeah, hire a photographer. Like, I have some photography experience because I have an art background. I went to school for design, and so we had to take a lot of photography in our classes. But in my mind, I can picture what I want, but because I'm not a professional photographer, and product photos really will make or break how well your product will sell. So I would rather spend the money and vet a good photographer to have them do that, take those photos for me, than just do it myself. Okay. Now, if you're in a bind, you can definitely take some yourself for now as a temporary set of photos, and then once you've saved up enough money, hire a real photographer. So you don't want to be one of those. You don't want to be. Just because someone has a nice camera doesn't mean they're a good photographer. Okay, so a lot of people will try to represent that they are. You really want to look at their portfolios and see what they've done and what kind of work they do in the past, and then you want to have that type of artistic talent, like the product that they're producing matches what you see in your mind's eye. Okay, and that's how I choose the photographer that I have. Okay, one thing I want to point out too is for one of my products, it doesn't use photos. It wouldn't it doesn't photograph well. So I actually had a 3D rendering of it done. So I hired a 3D renderer to render the product, and so now when you look at it, I mean, if you looked at it, you wouldn't be able to tell that it's not a real product, but you get what you pay for as well. Okay, so just keep that in mind. That's an option too. If Amazon is only accepting 50, how do you cope with the demand? Well, that's the thing. Because of this whole pandemic, Amazon is prioritizing essential products only, right? And so that's why they're not able to fulfill their 1 and 2 day Prime shipping and stuff right now. And they just recently started unfreezing the inbound shipments. So as of now, you're lucky that they're allowing some people to ship in 50 units. So if you do run out, that's great. That's a good problem to have because you have a product that people want to buy. So you're selling out of them. So you just have to keep resupplying it as you run short. Okay. But one thing I mentioned earlier too, I think you're new. You just joined the stream. You can also do FBM, right? So that way you don't have to. You're not bound by those by that restriction. Thanks, random guy. Median. The opportunity niche finder only suggests masks now. Yeah. Yeah, so right now there's a couple things. You have to be careful with the data you're looking at now. Um, a lot of it's going to be either really poor or really good based on the niche that product is in, right? Because if it's in demand and people are buying it, the sales is going to look great, right? And you have to remember, like, reviews, which is what we base the competition on, is typically going to lag. Um, so if you're doing product research, I would really look at historical data at this point, data from prior to the shutdown. Um, So preferably like February and earlier, right? But then you got to also remember Q4 sales are inflated, so potentially inflated. So the data there could be skewed as well. um, yeah, you're welcome, Mr. Cheap. I just discovered Bang, by the way, so I've been drinking like one or two of these a day. Biggest thing is it's got 0 calories. I used to drink Red Bulls literally 10 to 12 a day. And a friend of mine, his friend got kidney stones from drinking that many Red Bulls. So I cold turkey quit drinking Red Bulls. So I switched to drinking coffee. And this is years ago, but now I'm back to these Bangs, which are delicious, by the way. Um, yeah, definitely definitely chatbots, they help. Anything you can do to help generate sales or reviews, do it. Just don't. Just be careful with Amazon's terms of service. Like you're not stepping on any of those guidelines. And it's not hard to set up a mini chat. Those chatbots. I don't have a video on that, but there's plenty that you can find on YouTube. It's literally you set up an account on Zapier, and then you connect the two accounts with the mini chat account, and then you can create the custom workflow for that, and then you're good to go. Okay. Um, Median. So I use both. Um, I mean, I try to be as transparent as possible. So as my channel grew, every one of these, I mean, every literally, I get hit up every day by companies that want me to promote their software. Okay, and I turn down pretty much every single one of them. So, and I've used pretty much every single one of them because they want me to, test it out and give my opinion and hopefully do a video on it or whatever, right? Um, but I started with Jungle Scout because back then, 2 years ago, Jungle Scout was really the only name in the game. There wasn't anything back then. And so, since I've been using Jungle Scout since the beginning of my Amazon journey, I've just stuck with it, and they've grown. And Greg Mercer there, I talked to him, and he's done a really good job with feedback and taking their customers' input and improving the product. And so, it really does 99% of everything that I need a product research tool to do. And they've recently incorporated a whole bunch of features that you used to have to pay extra for. And they bundle it in as part of their monthly subscription. So the value is definitely there. If I had to choose one or the other, I would definitely go with the Jungle Scout one. But I do have AMZ Scout just because they do have a couple extra features that Jungle Scout doesn't have. So when I need those extra features, I pull it up on AMZ Scout. Okay. Uh, oh wow, my friend drank 20 Red Bulls a day and got cancer. Dang. What kind of cancer? I'm sorry. Is he okay? Is he recovering? Yeah, it was bad because when I was drinking those Red Bulls, like I used to go out with my friends and we used to party, like literally 6 nights a week. We're going out, going to the clubs and partying. And on the seventh day was poker night, and I have everybody over at my house. So literally, all my friends and we're drinking, going out, doing all this stuff, right? And then I remember the day specifically. It was like a summer, and I woke up. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, groggy, and I'm like, "What am I doing, man?" And so I decided to quit drinking, and I never got like belligerent and got stupid or anything. We were just drinking and just to have some fun, right? And from that day on, I still went out, but I didn't drink, and so I decided to drink Red Bulls. So that's why I was drinking 10 to 12 a day, because every round that my friends were drinking, I was drinking a Red Bull. So, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, life is short, man. That's what I was saying earlier. Like on my goal board, I have at the very top in big bold letters it says "Have more fun." So I've been trying to do that. Yeah, I know, Nahi. The thing is, a couple of my friends that go to the gym, they drink it, and so I keep seeing them drinking it, and so I tried it. I'm like, oh, and it got me amped to go to the gym, and that's kind of how I spiraled into into drinking these bangs. So I was drinking like two or three, and I kind of toned it down to one, maybe two a day now. So, and now that all the gyms are closed, it kind of sucks. So I actually can probably see some of this stuff I have over here. I have to, you know, figure out a way to do all this at home. So, um, Ryan, thank you for the good videos. I skipped the course method and just grinded and watched it. Good. Yeah, I try to provide as much value as I can. Uh, Most of the feedback I get from the people that have taken the course is that it's structured, and obviously, then you get access to me personally, right? So it gives you step by step from beginning to end, whereas all the videos on YouTube, they're unorganized, so and it's not as in depth as in the course. um, Mr. Cheap, is it possible to collect mailing addresses of your buyers? Technically, no. Amazon doesn't give you that anymore. Um, yeah, just to get vitamin C tablets and put in water. Yeah, I actually have what do you call it, pre-workout now that I've been using. So I try to tone back on the energy drinks. Oh, Jaeger bombs! Oh my God! Yeah, we should start the day with Patron and Jaeger. Oh man, that was bad. Bad news. All right, so it's been an hour and a half. Anybody have any more questions? I don't mind answering them, but um, Midian, yeah, it regardless of the situation the world is in right now with the pandemic, you're gonna find that that's most likely what you're gonna run into, right? Most products that you're gonna find won't meet all the product research criteria. So you can't be discouraged because if it was that easy to find a viable product, then everybody would be successful. Okay, each one of my products literally took 2 months, two 2 months to find. Okay, so I get messages all the time of people, man, I spent 2 days looking, I didn't find anything. I'm like, cool, you spent 2 days. I spent 2 months, right? It's like, oh, I spent a whole week, I didn't find anything. Okay, cool. Keep looking, man. You never know when you're gonna find that product, right? It's like if you're looking for gold, you don't know when that next shovelful might strike gold, right? But you're not gonna find it unless you stick that shovel in the ground. Okay. Ryan, are these going to be regular? I assume you mean these live streams. Well, I don't mind doing this. I'm having a lot of fun actually, so maybe I'll squeeze one in there. I don't know. I was telling these guys earlier. I don't know if you've been on the stream for the last hour or so, but I'm planning on doing like one video a day during the weekday. So instead of just doing Monday, Thursday videos, that I would do one on those filler days as well. but I hadn't planned a live stream as being one of them. I had done live streams in the past, like when I first started my YouTube channel, like 2 years ago, around there. And we had a lot of fun doing that, but for some reason I just, I didn't follow through with making it a regular occurrence. But if you guys enjoy it, I'm having fun. We can definitely make this regular thing. Maybe not sitting here in my racing simulator. I mean, I don't know if you guys mind or not. We can do this at my desk in my office or something. I don't know. We can mix it up. Can you show us your cars? I'm not one to really flash the stuff that I have here, but yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not one of those that post pictures, all that stuff. But I have a Range Rover, so that gets me around. It's black. I used to be a total car guy. I was like buying a car every year. And I was modifying them, right? So I had a 650 horsepower Supra, it's MK4 target top single turbo. Had an Acura NSX. That's probably the most fun car I had. Actually, I have my race car. My race car is in the garage, but obviously the race season is on hold right now. And my camera is kind of fixed right here. I can't. If it was wireless, I'd bring you guys over there and show you. But if you do some digging, you can find pictures of my stuff. But I really don't publicize all that stuff. Can you explain what units are? Okay, so a unit is what a person gets when they buy something from you. Okay, so that's where a lot of beginners get mixed up too with this terminology. So, for example, what do I have around right now? Okay, so let's say I'm selling my iPhone. Okay, so this iPhone would be considered one unit. Okay, so if I'm shipping in 1,000 iPhones, that means I have 1,000 units that I'm shipping into Amazon. Okay, now let's say I decide to make a bundle. So I'm going to bundle my Apple Watch with this iPhone. So when you buy this from me, you're going to get both. Okay, so now this is one unit. Okay, so one unit is what you pay for. You're going to get both of these. So it's not 2 units because I'm not selling it separately. You're going to get both. That's 1 unit. So it doesn't matter what I'm bundling in here. Okay, so like these are my racing gloves, right? There's 2 of them. Doesn't matter. There's 2 gloves. Obviously need a pair, a matched pair to sell it, but it's 1 unit. All right, does that make sense? So yeah. Let's see where we at. How many products do you have now? I have 4. Japan, any good suppliers? I actually haven't looked in Japan, to be honest. It wouldn't hurt to just take a look and see what's out there. Again, sky's the limit, right? So you don't want to restrict yourself. So if you can think outside the box and find some method or strategy or a resource that no one else or very few people are taking advantage of, then you'll be ahead of the game. Okay. Saeed Moradi, hello. How are you doing? Do you have a Facebook group? I do. So I have a public one that for everybody, and I try to answer every single question that's in there. And then I have a private one that's for my students only. So I'll share the link here with you guys. Where did my chat thing go? This is my first time doing a live stream, so I'm still kind of getting used to all the stuff here. Where's the chat? Sign into chat. I thought I did that. All right. So here's the link to my Facebook group. And I have a VA that goes through and approves all the requests. So if you want, once a day. So if you want me to manually approve it right now, who's the one that asked me that? Amazon FBA. So if you want me to approve your request now, you just let me know what your name is on Facebook, and I'll look through it real quick, and I'll approve that request. Where do you announce you go live? So again, I normally don't do live. So this was an accident. I created a brand new YouTube channel to do my sim racing live streams, and I was gonna just test out the software to make sure it works, but I accidentally streamed it to my Amazon YouTube account. So that's why we're chatting here, which a happy accident. Okay. But I'm having a lot of fun, so I can make this a weekly occurrence or something if you guys are enjoying this too. I'm more than happy to answer all of your questions. So, Laz, show us. Kind of tough. Kind of tough. Not prepared for that. Camera's kind of mounted here and stuff. So, um, if you search on Facebook or Google, you can probably find, or Instagram, you can probably find some stuff. Bundling 2 items in 1 package is 1 unit. Amazon FBA, yes. Bundling 2 items in 1 package is still considered 1 unit. Correct. Did it take long to build relationships with each of your suppliers? Everybody starts in the same boat, right? Because I didn't know any of them, and I wouldn't say it's luck of the draw that I chose them. When I sourced them on Alibaba, I just did the shotgun effect, right? So I did a search, and then however many showed up, I just blasted all of them with an email, and whoever I responded, I vetted them. And then the ones that kind of filtered through that were quick to respond, had good English, were accommodating to my requests and stuff, kind of filtered down to the couple that I got, then eventually got samples from, and built a deeper relationship with, and then finally picked the one that was going to do the manufacturing for me. Okay, so just remember that these are people too, but the thing is business, so you got to watch out for yourself. And so you want to make sure you're working with someone, or you're going to vet them so that it's going to be someone you want to work with in the future. So you don't want someone that's not responding on time, that's giving you a hard time, it's difficult to communicate with, or whatever, right? So, is this the right time now for finding new products? So, I don't think there's ever a right or wrong time. It's just right now. The data that you're going to see is going to be skewed towards products that Amazon is limiting, right, to the essential products. And then those essential products, I would say a good portion of those are going to be skewed just because they're more in demand during this time as more people are at home. Okay, so you just got to be aware of that. So, as I said earlier, you want to probably focus most of your analysis to historical data, and I would probably look at like February or older, but just keep in mind that Q4 sales data can also be skewed just because sales volume is definitely higher during that time too. Okay, so Samantha, my order is on my way, and there are already so many same products now. Yeah, so again, that's where product research is key to finding niches that are not competitive, and also trying to predict the future saturation of that. And I have videos on that on my channel that kind of go through that. So since you've already committed to the product, you already have an investment in it, then definitely just proceed forward and see how well you do. Yeah, okay. Did it take long? Did it take you a long time when you started? I discovered Amazon in July. I remember this specifically. The very first video I clicked on. Okay, I thought it was clickbait because the thumbnail said, "She earned $40,000 last month on Amazon." I was like, bullshit. And that video kept popping up for like a week. And then finally I clicked on it. So that's the moment that started my Amazon journey. Okay, so that was in July of 2017, and my first product went on sale on Amazon on October 6th of that year. Okay. Yeah. Everybody kind of remembers those pivotal moments. Your first sale, your first return, your first bad review. Everybody remember those. Which video? Um, yeah, if you just jump on my YouTube channel and just do a search for like saturation or competition, I have several videos on how to analyze niches for that. Um, Here, I'll pull one up for you real quick. I just realized that the title of this stream has nothing to do with Amazon, yet you guys clicked on it, and then there's actually a bunch of new people that didn't know who I was that clicked on it. So I find things like that interesting. Okay, so whoops. So here's one video. Yeah, that link there is how to spot saturated niches while you're doing product research. Did you learn FBA via that link you clicked in July? No. That video kind of exposed me to what Amazon was, because I didn't. I think I fall in the same category as all of you guys. I think we all thought Amazon was just a wholesaler of some kind, and all the products were being resold, kind of like Costco, is what I thought. And so I was just buying stuff on Amazon with my Prime account, not thinking, because I didn't care. But that video kind of just showed me the inner workings of Amazon and how it worked and how this person was making that kind of money. And then that's when it kind of piqued my interest, and so I started looking more into Amazon and how it worked and how you can make money from it. So I remember that very first video specifically, but all the videos following, I can't tell you how many hundreds or thousands that I watched after that. But I did eventually take Tanner Fox. I don't know if you guys know who he is, Tanner J. Fox. I discovered him, and then I eventually took his course, and that's what basically launched the whole process. Because I'm the type of person that I can be efficient. I can sit there and try to research this on my own, or I can just learn from someone that's a pro. At that time, it was him because I had built a rapport. We had a lot of the same upbringing, so he just resonated with me. So I bought his course and literally marathoned the whole course over the course of a weekend, and then the next week is when I just went full steam ahead, and did start product research and finding my first product. So I mean, a lot of people might not be in the same situation that I am. So there's definitely knowledge and information out there for you to consume for free. But if you want to streamline it and get started now, really a course will get you there, right? So again, I'm not saying you have to buy my course, whatever. I'm not trying to pump it, whatever. But whoever you resonate with, just make sure you vet them and maybe ask some other people that have taken the course to see how good it is. And that'll definitely get you going because it'll have all that information at your fingertips. And most of the time it's organized, right? So instead of having you search for stuff on the internet because you really don't know what you don't know. So if you didn't know that you need to do something, you won't know to search for that, to look it up. Okay. So like for me, I didn't know. I remember one of the mistakes I originally had was I didn't know that the country of origin needed to be on every unit, right? And I just happened to catch that by accident. And stuff like that, you wouldn't know to search for that because you don't know what you don't know. And that's where a course can really help you with that. What do you think of art department? Yeah, nothing wrong with that either. Again, I'm open to all categories except for like electronics, clothing, food, uh, some of the stuff in the beauty, like things that go on your body or in your body, things you would consume or eat. Products that have a potential issue with liability, like they can get hurt, or catch your house on fire. Stuff like that I stay away from. Okay. Thanks for all the info you share. You're welcome, Saeed. I'm glad you find value in it. What are the average course prices? I would say most courses that are worth anything is going to be around the $500 to $1,500, $2,000 range. When I bought Tanner's course, I think he sells his course now for like $500. I can't remember. But when I bought it, he had raised the price to like $800 something dollars. So, because he said he was going to raise it to like 1,500, and I'm like, well, I don't want to pay more, so I bought it when it went up, and then I think 2 weeks later he lowered it back to 500. I can't remember. But yeah, again, I would just, everybody's different. Everybody has different personalities. I know you guys are in my chat right now, but you could hate my guts. I don't know. But if you don't resonate with me, that's fine. No hard feelings. But whoever you're following or who you resonate with online, ask them some questions and feel them out. And if they have a course, ask some other people who have taken it, see what they think, and that will definitely streamline the learning process for you. Okay. What if your supplier's MOQ is 3,000 only? Well, what is required isn't dictated by Amazon, right? How many units you should order is dictated by your planning. Okay, so if you only want to order 800 units, but the MOQ is 3,000, then you need to negotiate. So you'll have to put your negotiation skills to use, or find a supplier that's willing to lower that MOQ for you. What do you think about Amazing Selling Machine? Again, I haven't taken any other courses, so I can't. I don't have any firsthand experience on that stuff. Okay, so what I had going for me was that I just wanted to learn the ins and outs right now, and at that time, Tanner, we had a lot of the same upbringing. We did sports in college, in school and college, and we had a lot of the same upbringing, basically. So, that's why I ended up taking this course. So, but again, get some feedback from other people who have taken it, and yeah, I think that one's like expensive. I think Amazing Selling Machine is like $5,000 or something. I don't know, but again, I haven't looked into it, so I can't offer any opinion on that. I think I should probably change the title to this stream, huh? I just realized that. How do I change the title? Do any of you guys have a YouTube channel? I normally use OBS. Like when I'm making my YouTube videos, I use OBS to capture the screen. But I'm using this new one called Streamlabs OBS, made by the same guys, but it's made for streaming, like to Twitch and YouTube and stuff like that. So it's a little bit different. All the stuff's kind of moved around, so that's why I'm not too familiar with it. Again, this first stream I'm doing here was supposed to be a test, so I'm glad you guys are bearing with me here. How do I edit the title? I saw an option here earlier. Midian, you do. Sweet. What's your channel about? Not that it's very organized or themed. Aha! I found it. Actually, no, that's not it. I can't edit it. Why can't I edit that? It says live now. If I click on it. Title. There we go. Can I edit that? Can't edit it. Why can't I edit it? Oh, there you go. Click the edit button. That would help. Let's change the title. What should I call it, guys? First live stream. Ask me anything. Right? That's what we're doing. Ask me anything. All right, there we go. I'm not trying to be too clickbaity here. I don't even have a thumbnail. The thumbnail is actually of iRacing here. Ask me anything. Everyone welcome. There we go. Let's do that. Save. There we go. Music and travel. Cool. So you do blogs? No, you don't need to have an LLC or registered trademark before selling on Amazon. It's not a requirement, okay? But it does help to have a registered business and a trademark for multiple reasons. If you have a registered business, you can take advantage of a lot of tax benefits, okay? And you also get some shelter on liability with your personal assets. So it's definitely something to consider. And then with the trademarks, you get protection, you get brand protection for your IP. Okay, so and also gives you access to A+ content on Amazon. How do you lose profit on Amazon FBA? Just like any business, okay, there's 1,000 ways to lose money, and most of it comes from mismanagement. Okay, so when you're running a business, you need to know everything about your business. So you'd be surprised how many people I talk to and consult for business in general, not just Amazon, that when I ask them simple questions that you should know, like what is your profit margin, what are your unit costs, what is your burn rate, they don't know. Okay, these are things that you need to know exactly. You need to know how much money you project to make, what the actual numbers are, where the industry is going. You know all the costs, where your expenses are. You need to know all this stuff to turn a business to make a business successful. Okay, otherwise you don't know where your money's going, and you don't know where you're going to make money. So the whole question of where is your profit going, you don't know. Okay, so you need to know all aspects of your business to be profitable. All right, and the key to being profitable is having a large profit margin. A lot of beginners actually forget about that fact. They get so frustrated with product research because they can't find something that they just go ahead with the last product they found. That's the worst thing to do, because that probably doesn't meet all the product research criteria that I lay out, and B, they haven't considered a profit margin. Okay, you can sit there and sell 1 million units a day and not make any money. There's a difference between revenue and profit. Okay, you understand the difference. No, it's been lazy on YouTube. I just upload things as they happen randomly. I see. Well, cool. Well, best of luck to you, Midian, on your channel. There's a couple travel channels that I follow too, so yeah, it's pretty interesting. I just never have the when I'm traveling and doing stuff, I get too involved in the moment to stop to pull out a camera to record it for a blog or something. So it sucks because a lot of times I'm like, man, I wish I took a video of it or something, but you know, it is what it is. Jacob Turner, what's profit margin? Profit margin is the difference between the price that you're selling each unit for versus the price minus the price that you paid for it. So let's say I have these my racing gloves here. Okay, so let's say I bought these for, you keep the number simple. Let's say I bought these for 50 bucks. Now I go sell it for $100. So the profit margin is $50, right? Because that's how much profit I'm going to make. Okay. I think you do not use forwarder or do any further. What if items are broken? Okay, so random guy, if your product's passed inspection and it's damaged during shipping, then that's where you need to have shipping insurance. All right, and that's what will cover damage during freight. Jacob Turner, were you scared starting your FBA business? You should always have some reservations
ladies.
with any business that you are starting. Okay, if you're not, then you may be too carefree with your money or your decisions that you're making. So there's always going to be some risk. And I don't know if you were here earlier in the stream, but when I started my Amazon business, it was kind of on a whim because I had just tried to make a quick buck on Bitcoin, and I lost 15 grand literally in like 20 minutes. I watched the money disappear literally in front of me, and so I was pretty bitter about it. And then literally like 2 weeks after that is when I discovered Amazon, and so I was a little more timid. But after doing enough research, is when I decided that I was going to move forward with it, right? So there's always going to be some fear, healthy fear, right? But you can't let that fear stop you from doing anything, all right? You got to take action. Do you know an affordable inspector? Yeah. Give Movly.com a shout. Talk to Sajag. Movly, Movley.com. Okay. Talk to Sajag or Brendan. Talk to Sajag or Brendan. Tell them that I sent you, and they'll take care of you. Did you buy an expensive product for your first product? Nope. My first product was in the $15 to $25 range. I'm actually selling it now for 28 bucks. It's the higher. My first product, that one was anyway. It's on the high end of that category. Most products are around the $15 to $20 range. I would like to thank you for being an awesome teacher. Well, you're welcome, Randall. Appreciate your feedback. Good. Like I said, if you have any questions, if I do another live stream, by all means, jump on. And if you have any questions, I'll do what I can to answer it. And then if you didn't see the link earlier in the chat, I did post a link to my Facebook group, and that's open to everybody. So go ahead and join that if you haven't already. And I try to answer every single question that's posted in there, right? But as that is growing, I mean, I grew that one from 0 members, and I think it's over 20,000 members now. So there's a lot of questions in there. So I I'm unable to get to them as timely as I would like to these days. Thanks, Mark. You're welcome. My total investment was around 3,200 bucks around there, I think, median. It's just over 3 grand. What is most important about starting FBA? Finding the right product. Okay, making sure that it meets all of the product research criteria, and you've done your planning correctly, that there's enough profit margin there. Okay, there's no point in starting a business if you're not going to make any money. Okay, I mean, I'm all about being altruistic, okay, and having like nonprofit businesses and whatever. But come on, you got to put food on the table and pay your rent or mortgage or whatever. So if you're gonna start an Amazon business, you got to make some money. And if you don't plan it correctly, you don't find the right product, you can be selling, like I just said like 10 minutes ago, you could be selling 1,000,000 units a day and still make no money or actually lose money. Okay, so do some research. I have videos on the difference between revenue and profit. Understand that. It's very fundamental to business. If you don't know the difference between revenue and profit, you're in trouble. Mike's Joint. I don't think there's a best categories. For me, I'm in the home and kitchen garden kind of space there. And it wasn't because that's where I was focusing my search. That's just where my first product happened to be. So I was familiar with that niche. And so my future products is kind of, I knew what to look for. I had an eye for that. And so, and there's plenty of other people that I consult and help with, and other students where they're in different categories or they're spread out amongst others, and they just become familiar with it. And you'll realize that too. The more product research you start doing, the more you start looking and analyzing, you'll start getting an eye for certain things too. So you might gravitate towards one category or the other. But there are categories that I just straight out don't even consider, right? Because they're either too competitive or there's too many returns, or there's liability that I just don't want to deal with. So I just don't even look in those categories, like electronics, clothing, in food, electronics. I think I said that. Computer, games, toys, stuff like that. I don't deal with those categories. Let's see. Where are we in the chat here? Jacob, yes, I use the Jungle Scout Chrome extension and the web app. The web app is actually Greg at Jungle Scout there. They now bundle in a whole bunch of features into one monthly payment now, right? So for the whatever you're paying on Jungle Scout, whatever tier you're in, you're getting so much value there now. So I highly recommend Jungle Scout, but I do use AMZ Scout too, because there's a couple tools there that Jungle Scout doesn't have. Let's see. So if you're using the Chrome extension, it's real time. So when you do a search, it analyzes all the listings that show up in the search and then gives you the summary at the top along with the score, right? So depending on what's going on at that moment, that the summary is going to reflect that. Okay, so that's why you need to analyze niches and actually do product tracking over a period of time so they have a good average, not just based on one snapshot. Okay. Chat's going crazy now. Let's see. Can you recommend any prep centers? Yeah, so primezeroprep.com. They're one of the bigger ones here in the US, and they'll actually do fulfillment as well. Okay. Kukulik. Hope I said your name right. Don't tell me his famous garlic press. Not sure what you meant there. Best of M. How do you define product quality? Always get samples, right? Random guy. So when you narrow down your suppliers to a few that you feel, trust your gut on that, then get samples from them so you can gauge the quality of the manufacturing and the materials. Mike's Joint, you're welcome. Yeah, Jacob Turner, brand registry, definitely. So Amazon just started their IP accelerator program like 3 months ago. That fast tracks you to give you access to that brand registry. So what I would do is definitely go through that IP accelerator program. It does cost more than if you did the trademarking on your own, but you get access to the brand registry, the A plus content right away, like immediately, rather than waiting the 8 to 9 months that it requires if you don't go through that program. Okay, because won't get access to it until you get your federal trademark ID, your number. Okay, so if you go through the IP accelerator program, you get access to the brand registry right away. Jungle Scout expensive. Yeah, yeah. Again, I haven't looked at their payment structure, but they do have. I think it's a lifetime for their Chrome extension, and then it's an annual payment for the web app. But I think they do have a monthly one as well, and I think it's like $40 a month or something. But I do have a link for a coupon that'll save you some money on that. I think it's like 25% off or something, right? So definitely take advantage of that. Yeah, they don't have a trial, unfortunately. Good afternoon, Bashir. Have you been scammed on Alibaba? I personally haven't been scammed, but I have dealt with people that have been scammed. The thing is, I don't know. I wouldn't call it scammed. I would call it um, maybe lack of doing due diligence. For example, they didn't get samples or they didn't get a product inspection. So it's not like the supplier was scamming them. The quality of the product just wasn't what they thought it was going to be after they already made the payment and they finally got their inventory. Okay, so that's where you need to protect yourself and be like, you know, vet the supplier before you even give them any money. And then when you do have that your product manufactured, you have an inspection done to protect your investment. Okay. Con, do you do tactical arbitrage? I do not. I've never done any arbitrage on Amazon. Um, I did do stuff like that on eBay. Um, Janet, thanks for your help. You're welcome. Just launched my first product. Congratulations. I'd like to make $1 profit per product. Okay. I highly recommend not going down that path. Um, yeah, just because of what you're saying, your PPC costs is going to blow through that profit margin, right? You really need to plan a product, plan entering a product niche where the profit margin is sufficient enough to cover your costs, your marketing costs, and leave you enough to take home and put in your own pocket. $1 profit is, I mean, unless you're selling 100 of these a day, you're not making any money, right? Because one person or two people click on an ad, and there goes your dollar profit. Okay, so that's why I always recommend that you're aiming for at least a $5 profit margin. Um, you can trademark your product at any time. There isn't really a good or bad time to do it, in my opinion. It's just that the earlier you can do it, the earlier you'll have brand protection as well as access to the A plus content. So yeah, I mean, the thing is, when you trademark a brand, it's for your entire brand, right? So it's not product specific typically. So you can just trademark it and not even have a product yet. Jacob Turner, what's PPC? PPC is the pay-per-click advertising on Amazon. So when you go to Amazon and you type in something that you want to buy, at the very top you'll see a bunch of listings that say sponsored. Those are PPC advertisements. So how that works is sellers, you don't have to, but if you want to, you can bid on specific keywords, and the highest bidder gets the best ad placement. Okay. Yeah, I only do private label on Amazon. I know there's people that do arbitrage, and you can make some money doing it. I've read some articles where some guys are making a lot of money doing it, but in my opinion, arbitrage isn't as scalable, right? Because it's directly tied to how much inventory you can find yourself. So once you stop looking for products, discounted products, then you have no inventory to restock on. Okay. Whereas if you do private label, as long as you're getting good unit costs, you have endless supply from your supplier. Your trademark can be anything you want. Yeah, there's no restriction as long as no one else has registered that trademark in the same industry. The modern day hippie. Congrats on your first live stream. Thanks. It wasn't. I mean, I did some live streams like a couple years ago when I first started my channel, but I accidentally started a live stream today. This wasn't my intent, and a whole bunch of people jumped on. So here I am, just chatting with you guys, and I'm having a great time. So, congrats on launching your first product, by the way, and I'm glad to hear that's going well. So, and thanks for your support. Epic Gamer, I love you. I don't know who you are, but thanks. I love you too. I assume from your name, you might be. Actually, I don't know. I was gonna say you're from my new gaming channel, but I literally have no subscribers over there, and no one knows I exist. So, thanks. When's the best time to switch from sole proprietor to S corp? Earlier the better. If I mean, there's extra cost to switching, Danger Dawn, but as a sole proprietor, you have no tax shelter there. You have no shelter for protection on your personal assets. Okay, so yeah, what I recommend is actually talking to an attorney, figure out what your best plan is for your own business. Okay, how to set that up. How do you pay 30%? Do you pay 30% first? Yeah. Yeah, for a new supplier, definitely don't pay 100%. Okay? Supplier is always going to push you to pay them 100% upfront because that's in their best interest. And it's not because they're trying to scam you. It's a cash flow issue. Okay? So when you're running a business, you're going to run into this issue as well. When you start to scale your Amazon business, it's cash flow, okay? Because you need cash to buy inventory, but most people don't have all that cash in their pocket because that cash is tied up, or their money is tied up in their inventory, and you're not going to get any cash back until you sell through that inventory, okay? So there's a constant battle of inventory management, so versus how many sales you have, so you have enough money on hand to order supply, and you're playing this catch-22 deal to manage your business. Okay, these suppliers are doing the same thing. You gotta understand these suppliers. They may represent that they're multi-million, doing hundreds of thousands of revenue every month, but they're playing the same game. Every business is doing that. So they want you to give them money so they have this cash on hand. Okay, so they can do something with it. Okay, so for you though, you want to protect yourself because once you give the, if you were to give them 100% of the cash, then they no longer have an incentive to prioritize you as a customer. So I'm not saying that they're going to give you bad service, but you want to protect yourself so that they have an incentive to collect the remaining balance that you owe them of that 70%. So they have an incentive to meet your requests, get your production done on time so they can collect the remaining balance. Okay, and secondly, if there is any issues, you have that 70% on hand that you haven't paid them yet for them to fix any problems that might come up, like it's a bad batch, it fails the inspection or whatever. Okay, always protect yourself is my point. My hairline, I know. I don't have a forehead. I have a 5 head, 5 fingers. Doorknob. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think we're getting a lot of people in here now. Do you recommend heroin? To each their own. I've never done it, but I think Joe Rogan said it on one of his podcasts. It must be some epic drug because people are really willing to fuck up their lives to take it. I'm not willing to find that out though. Have you ever got suspended by Amazon? No, I have not, but I have had my listings shut down for violating certain guidelines. Okay, so just be careful. I have two variations. The first one, okay. Okay, so yeah, when it comes to PPC, it's all about testing and retesting. So there's no really right one way or the other. The best thing is to test it and see what performs better or not. Okay, Mr. Cheap. So just test it and see what happens. uh, if you start doing over $10,000 in revenue every month, then you probably want to hire an accountant. Um, how do I protect myself against my drunk neighbor? Drink all the beer yourself. How do you suppliers take forever? Okay, well, why do suppliers take forever? Well, one, if they don't respond at all, it may be because you haven't formatted your contact email professionally enough. Okay, because you got to understand, like I go through that too. I get hundreds of messages and emails every single day, right? And there's no possible way I can personally answer every single one of them. So the ones that are coming in asking me for like business opportunities or trying to promote their businesses somehow, I mean, I'll be honest, 95% of them I don't even respond to. Okay, but the ones that I do, it's because they did something different or unique that caught my eye that was worthy of my time to send them a response. So these suppliers are getting inundated with hundreds, thousands, I don't know how many inquiries every day too, right? So you got to be very professional and very direct and to the point so that they will want to respond. But that's a good way to filter out these bad suppliers too, because you don't want to deal with a supplier that's slow to respond, right? You want someone that's quick and on time, and you send them a message, they respond quickly. Getting into bed with a supplier that's bad with communication is a bad idea, so I wouldn't ever recommend doing that. Let's see. Getting lost on all these chat messages here. Do you let your supplier? Yes, all my suppliers do DDP, but definitely explore your options, right? So freight forwarder will give you free quotes. So tell them what you're doing and get a quote from freight forwarders to see what your cheapest and quickest options are. Um, the best ways to differentiate is to bundle, fix a problem, or add a feature. And I think it's a given these days that you have to have an optimized product listing. So that used to be a way to differentiate, but pretty much every niche now, unless it's a very, very uh, like specific niche where there's really few sellers in it, all uh, top listings have very good optimized listings now. So that's a given. So as far as other ways to differentiate, you really need to figure out a way where you're doing something that no one else is really doing. So bundling it with something, fixing a problem, or adding a feature. So one thing I'll add to that too. So um, like differentiating based on quantity or like color is typically not a good way. So, like if everybody's got black and gray and you come and sell red, yeah, it's probably not a good way to do differentiate. Or, everybody's selling one unit and you want to make it a 5-pack or something, probably not a good way either. Okay, so it's got to be more unique than that. Something that's actually adding value. Um, yeah, product categories to stay away from. Electronics, because you're going to get uh, the return rate is through the roof. And if it's something, complicated electronics where there's a lot of buttons or menus or something, you're going to be doing tech support all day long. So I stay away from electronics. Don't do toys and games, just because the turnaround, like that industry moves so fast. Like from this month to next month, that it could be a fad and it'd be over, and you're too late to the game. So yeah, I would stay away from that as well. There's also there's extra restrictions on Amazon too to enter the toys and games category. So let's see. Oh, and stay away. I personally would stay away from anything that has liability. So things you would eat, put on your body, like lotions and creams. I don't want to get sued if someone were to die or get hurt from that, and the litigation and costs involved with that. It's not worth it. Any tips for prison? Okay. Yeah, some interesting questions there, Doorknob. I've never been in trouble with the law, uh, but if I were to go to prison, I would probably make sure that I have a lot of books that I can read, which I'm sure you'll have plenty of access to. And if you can make requests, and if you're in whatever niche or interest you have, make sure you get a bunch of books in that niche, right? So whether that's science fiction, business, or whatever, make sure you get a good supply of those, right? Um, Maybe even if nowadays you might have access to audiobooks too. I listen to a lot of those as well, so I can do things while I'm listening to these books. So yeah. Um, the barbell in the background. Yeah, man, gyms are closed. It sucks because I go to Anytime Fitness. It's literally like 5 blocks from my house, and now I have to deal with these. um, when do you pay for DDP? You pay your supplier when it's due when they complete the your manufacturing. Okay. You'll usually have terms that you agree upon. The DDP, the shipping is usually included with whatever they quoted you for the manufacturing of your products. Um, Charlie, if my product is not quite profitable after selling half my, well, profitability in the beginning can be dependent on a lot of factors, right? Because you don't know, you need to know where your expenses are. So if the original costs are from promotions, like you're trying to generate sales velocity, so you know you're going to be operating at a loss in the beginning, then I wouldn't be so worried, right? Because it's probably going to take a couple months before you become profitable, because you are running promotions, discounts, aggressive PPC, so you are running at, in the red. Okay. Um, would you recommend dietary supplements? See, those are risks that I'm not willing to take, because again, if you get a bad batch of ingredients and someone gets sick, or breaks out in a rash, right? Gets a stomach issue from eating your thing, man, and you get sued, that could destroy your business, right? I mean, it could bankrupt you. So that's what based on your own risk tolerance, man. That's on you, Noctris. Jacob Turner, can you buy counterfeits and sell on Amazon? Yes, but don't do it. Okay. Well, morally, it's wrong. Okay. And secondly, um, the moment the IP owner discovers that and files a claim, you'll get shut down and you'll be stuck with inventory that you can't sell. So it's not worth it. Mustafatar 43, get quotes, right, to see what your best shipping option is. If FOB is your best option and then you have a freight forwarder, or you want to arrange the rest of shipping on your own, do it. But most people don't have that experience, right? If you fill in the forms incorrectly, your shipment can be held at customs or not even go anywhere, or get sent back to your supplier. So um, it's best to hire a freight forwarder. So FOB may not be the best option. So, but yeah, just explore your options. Um, yeah, Renzo, are there still niches that have good sell? Yeah, there's niches all over Amazon waiting to be discovered. Okay, just in the U.S. marketplace, there's like over 12 million products in the Amazon marketplace. Okay, and to get started, you just need to find one of them, right? And to find them, it takes time. So you need to be willing to put in the time to find these golden nuggets. Um, if you're just starting on Amazon, I probably wouldn't worry about building a brand at this point, because you're probably just starting with a single product, right? So whether that product is successful or not, then I would decide. If it is a successful product and you decide to go niche specific, then you can think about what you want to do with your brand. Okay. Um, Jacob, I'm not sure what you're asking there. Um, Usually, counterfeit means you're manufacturing a product that has a patent or a trademark on it. Okay, so for example, what do I have here? Okay, so for example, I have my Apple Watch, right? So this is an authentic Apple Watch made by Apple. Now, if some Chinese company knocks it off, and you go and buy that product from that Chinese company and you're selling it as an Apple iWatch, well, that's a fake Apple iWatch and you can get sued by Apple. So don't do that. But if a Chinese company is making a making a smartwatch that looks like it, and you're not selling it as an Apple Watch. It's a Jacob Turner watch. Okay, yeah, you can. Then it's not counterfeit. Okay, so the issues that come up are like when you're not aware of it. One of the big ones was like Lego tape, I think it was. So people were marketing it as Lego tape. So it was like this bendable strip of Lego that you can attach to regular Lego blocks. Well, it's counterfeit because you can't use Lego branding, right? You have to use generic branding, like what's the generic term for that? Building blocks. Okay, you can't use the Lego term because it's trademarked. Okay, so a lot of those listings originally when that product came out got shut down. Okay, another one was like these snorkel masks. It was a full face mask with a little breathing tube in the center here. Okay, that one had a patent pending, and I think it's patent approved now. But a lot of people were selling that either knowing that it has a pending patent approval in the works, or they just didn't do their due diligence and started selling it. Well, the patent owner started filing claims against all of them, so they got shut down. So you don't do it, right? Do your own research. Don't sell counterfeit products. It's not worth it. The worst case scenario, you get sued and you just lose everything, right? Best case scenario is you get shut down and now you're just stuck with whatever inventory you have. You're welcome, modern hippie. Is it normal for consumer? Yes, it is normal. Okay. The more complicated the electronics are, the more difficult it is for people to figure out how to use it. And so they may just think that it doesn't work, or it might just be too complicated, so they'll return it. And then electronics break, right? The batteries don't work, or manufacturing, who knows, buttons don't work, and it breaks, so they return it. Diversify, right? The thing is, if you only stick with Amazon, then you have to play by Amazon's rules. And if, God forbid, your Amazon seller account for whatever reason gets shut down, well, you just lost everything, right? So you don't put all your eggs in one basket. So the thing is what if you have a proven product that sells well on Amazon, then diversify, into your own web space, like Shopify or your own web store, eBay, whatever, or even brick and mortar. Start selling at retail. So you have different avenues. Too evil to hope. Well, it doesn't help for you to spell it as Laygoh because it's not going to show up in the search terms, right? No one's ever going to use that spelling to search for your product. If a product doesn't have a brand, can you put a brand on it? Yeah, that's the whole point of doing private label, right? You're selling generic products with your own brand on it. Realistic, I would say if you're putting in a solid hour or two every day, 4 to 6 weeks. For recording, I record it directly to for Con. I'm asking your video question here. For recording, I record directly to the camera. So I have a Sony A6400 and a Canon M550. M50 that I record directly onto its internal card. But for screen grabs, then I'm using OBS. Like right now for the stream, I'm using the Streamlabs OBS, not the original OBS Studio. If you didn't hear me already, my intent was to test out the new Streamlabs OBS software that I'm using right now on my new YouTube channel, which I want to stream my sim racing content. but I accidentally streamed it to my Amazon YouTube. That's why we're talking about Amazon while I'm sitting in my racing rig right now. um, um, Yeah, modern day hippie. Definitely explore your options, right? Because sometimes it might be more beneficial, either cost wise or time wise, to source outside of China. So, again, there's no right or wrong way. Just because everybody is recommending or teaching or doing something one way doesn't mean that's the only way to do it. So, if you can find a better quality product or a cheaper product outside of China, then definitely explore that avenue. And there's definitely benefits of doing that, right? Because there could be less tariffs, there's less competition, you get better pricing, faster shipping. Explore those options. It doesn't cost you anything, right? Contact those suppliers there and get quotes, and then that way you have options. Evil to hope. From my experience with anything in life, if you try to do too many things at once, you'll suck or be mediocre at all of them. Okay, if you want to master something, you need to focus on it 100%. And then once you've mastered it, then move on. So if Amazon is what you're deciding to move forward with, focus your energy on Amazon. Once you've mastered it, then move on to Shopify, eBay, whatever. Okay. Jacob Turner. No. If there's an already if the product is already patented or trademarked, you cannot legally manufacture it and sell it yourself unless you buy your inventory from an authorized wholesaler or directly from that manufacturer. Okay? So, for example, if I want to sell a t shirt that has the Batman logo on it, I legally cannot make it myself and sell it. Okay? That Batman logo is trademarked by Marvel. So for me to legally sell a Batman t-shirt, I need to buy my inventory from an authorized distributor or wholesaler or directly from Marvel. If I hire a company to make t-shirts with that Batman logo on it, you will get sued. Okay? Um, Aaron Dam. If you have a manufacturing facility in India that's doing leather wallets, if you're doing well in that niche already, then I would just extend that, right? So if you have um, equipment that deals with leather and what do you call it, clothing or whatever it is, then I would probably just stick to that niche. I don't know how else you would diversify if that's what kind of products you're able to manufacture already, right? Um, Noctras, I would list it as a variation. Then you can piggyback off of the sales volume and the listing rank and all that you already built for the parent listing. Well, I'll take that back. If you have capital, marketing capital that you're willing to spend to try to rank a second listing, then you can definitely do that also. So I would list it as a variation and then create a separate listing as well, and then rank that one. That way, if you rank that one onto prominently on the first page as well, then you'll take up 2 spots. Okay. But there's additional cost there, right? Because you'll have 0 reviews, 0 sales velocity. You're starting at ground zero with that second listing. Medium. Why did I jump on that shrink wrap one? That one was an off, if I remember correctly, that was an off the cuff video that I made, right? So I happened to be, I think that was a day that I was releasing a video and I was doing product research at the same time, and I found this, so I just made a video out of it. If I remember correctly, I didn't do enough research at that time. And so I know that if I release a product into the wild, I would never jump on that product, okay? Because now, 1,000, I don't know how many followers I have at that time, but all of a sudden, however many thousands of people suddenly know about that niche, and I would avoid it because it's going to become saturated, okay? But I wanted to show people what a good product niche looked like what the data looked like, and why I thought it was a good product. Did your first product fail? No, my first product was profitable. I have screenshots of it on my Instagram. And what was it? It was in the kitchen category. I'm still selling that one. So how do you pick your first product? I would pick it using, nothing would change. The only thing is I would be more careful with the data that's within the last couple of months. So I would look at more historical data, like prior to February of 2020. Karen, I started selling in 2017. My first product went on sale on October 6th of 2017. Sasang, should I have a freight forwarder polybag? Most of the time, freight forwarders only deal with the shipping. So any packaging or manufacturing, you're going to have your manufacturer or supplier do it. Fully. I don't know if I said that correctly. What's happening? Thanks for your support. How do you determine whether a product is a success or failure? Well, in business, to be considered success is if you're turning a profit, right? So if the product you're selling is making you money, right, then I would consider that a success. And how long does that take? Well, you could be successful in the very first day, right? Some products might take some time just because of the initial costs of getting that listing ranked. So like mine, it took a couple weeks, right? Once it got ranked and started generating organic sales, then it became profitable within the first month. But I've had students and other people that I've consulted, literally the first week it was profitable, just because they didn't have to spend any money or much money on PPC or doing promotions, so they weren't running in the red in the beginning to get that listing going. But that's because they were either really lucky on picking that product, or they actually did really good job in their product research. Okay. So that's why I always hammer it in my videos. It has to pass all of the product research criteria. You want to minimize as much of that risk as possible. Okay. Maroc Info. It's nice to find you as well. I'm glad you find value in those videos. Man, it's getting dark in here. We're pushing 3 hours, man. It's like a Joe Rogan podcast. Just realized it's 2 hours and 45 minutes. When you send things in Amazon, if you send for example, 9, will they send 3 to each warehouse? Uh, no, Terra Loale. I just totally butchered that. When you create a shipping plan, you don't know um, how Amazon's going to split up that shipment until you complete it. Okay, so once you enter in how many units you want to ship in, that the algorithm is going to figure out where they want to distribute it to. Okay, so there's no way to know ahead of time. There is an option, the inventory placement option in your settings. If you go to Seller Central, click on Settings on the top right, and then click on the Fulfillment by Amazon option, you can turn on inventory placement. And if you turn it on, that means Amazon will only have you ship it to one warehouse. But they charge you 50 cents per unit to do that. So you had to do the math and figure out if it's worth it. Okay. Minimum amount. Evil to hope. Minimum amount. I know there's a lot of clickbaity videos out there where people are like, I started my Amazon business with $500, or start your Amazon business with $1,000. Okay, I'm not saying that's not possible. I'm sure there's people that built a successful business with $500. Okay, Amazon business. Obviously, there's going to be random occurrences like that, but realistically, it's not likely. Okay, you need to have enough capital to make sure you order enough inventory so you can do a proper product launch and have all the right tools and marketing budget. Okay, you got to treat this like a real business. There's no such thing as a get rich quick scheme. Okay, I keep going back to this because me and a couple of friends try to make a quick buck, like a friendly competition, and that's how I lost the 15 grand on BitConnect. Right? I was like, oh, just throw this money in there, leave it in there for like a week or two or a month, and try to make some money. I'll get out. Okay, but I lost it in 20 minutes. It was gone. Okay, so, and I knew better. I mean, again, we laugh about it now, but there's no get rich quick scheme. Every time I try to do something like that, it ends up biting me in the ass. Okay, you got to make sure you have a plan, make sure you have enough capital, and when you put together that plan, it's going to tell you how much capital you need. So if you don't have enough, make sure you set aside some money, save some money so you have that money, so you can properly launch your Amazon business. And it's typically going to be around $2,000 to $2,500 minimum. Okay. Let's see. Best way to deal with Amazon quantity limits. Well, if it's a brand new product, definitely just send in those 50 units so you have something to sell. And Amazon will, based on how much sales you're doing per day, will raise that limit for you. Okay. So another option is to do that alongside FBM. And there are 3PL services that will do that for you if you don't want to fulfill them on your own. I actually don't recommend doing fulfillment on your own. A, I'm lazy. B, there's so much logistics involved, right? Because you need a label printer, you need boxes, you need packaging, material, tape. And I don't have time. I'm going to sit around and box 50 boxes every day, right? Or you can hire someone, I guess, but there goes all your profits, right? And then you got to have UPS come pick it up. You got to print out these labels. Hire a place to do it. That's why FBA is such a powerful service, because they just do it all for you for a minimal fee. Okay? So Karen, yeah, exactly what I was talking about. So yeah, FBM. The problem with Amazon right now is they're prioritizing essential products only. So all the non-essential stuff, even though you see a Prime badge on those products, they're not fulfilling the 1 or 2 day shipping service, right? Some of them are taking a week or 2 weeks to ship. So for me, like right now, when I'm buying stuff on Amazon, I'm purposely looking for products with the Prime badge, but are able to ship it to me within 3 or 4 days. I don't want to wait a week, right? So if you, as a seller, want to avoid having that problem, then FBM is your best choice right now. Arendam, what are you asking here? How to decide on launch and daily post-launch advertising budget. Okay, so on Amazon, the only form of advertising you do is through PPC. You can do coupons and promotions too, but those are more you basically figure out how much money you want to spend for promotions, and you can offer those as coupons and discounts. Okay, but for PPC, it's an unknown figure. You don't know how much it's going to cost you because you don't know how many people are going to click on your ads, right? Amazon only charges you when someone clicks on it. Okay, so the more competitive that niche is, the more potentially clicks there will be for your ad. But you can set a daily budget. So if you can only afford, $10 a day, then set that daily budget to $10. Sasang, yes, the Chrome extension is the best way to do to filter down the bulk of your product research that you're doing, right? So when you are analyzing a whole bunch of products, the Chrome extension is the quickest way to determine if it passes the first set of criteria, and if it does, then you can move on to getting a estimate for a unit cost, and then moving on to product tracking. Modern day hippie, the FBA storage fees is going to be pretty close to what a 3PL is going to charge you, right? That's why it's so beneficial to use the FBA. The thing is, it could be more cost effective if you have oversized products. So you got to do the math, figure out what it's going to cost you for your size product and weight for FBA, and then what is a third party going to charge you. Okay, and then sometimes you don't need a 3PL. You can just store it at a storage facility of some kind, and then just ship in quantity when you run out at Amazon. Evil 2 Hope, you rock, dude. Thanks. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I gotta go take a leak, but I'm more than willing to answer some more questions. So if you guys want to wait like 2 minutes, I'm gonna go take care of some business. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay? Be right back. I drank too much Bang. All right, I'm back. Can you guys hear me? Let's see, what did I miss? You guys have a conversation on your own while I was gone? Oh man, feel much better now. I was holding that for a while. Let's see, what did I miss? Um, Modern day. You're welcome. Karen, you're welcome. Medium, why track a product? Okay, so it's super important you do product tracking, okay, because all the data you see in a Chrome extension, they're estimates, right? And they're estimates only based on the last 30 days of sales. And you want to have data that's accurate for the entire year, preferably, okay? So most product trackers, or if you do product tracking, you want to know uh, what the daily sales volume is on a day-to-day basis. You want a good average of it. So the problem with the Chrome extension is, and all the tools are basically work this way with their algorithms. It's an average of the last 30 days. So let's say, for example, you're looking at a listing, and it says that they sold, 300 units in the last 30 days, right? So you don't want a niche where you have inconsistent sales day to day, where it's like 10 units one day, 0 units, and then 50 units, whatever. You want consistency, because consistency shows that there's consistent demand there, and that you can expect to have that same amount of sales day after day. Okay, so now, because of how an average works, if a listing says in the Chrome extension that they sold 300 units in the last 30 days, you don't know if they sold 10 units a day every day for 30 days, or if they sold 300 units on the first day and then 0 units for the next 29 days. That would be bad, right? So that's why you want to do product tracking, and there's tools that help you do that. For example, the product trackers that most tool suites have, as well as if you product track it yourself with an Excel spreadsheet and do like the 999 cart method or something like that. Okay, and that way you can get real-time data day after day, and the longer you can track it, the better. You'll know exactly what the average is that niche is selling each day. Okay, that's why you want to product track. You're welcome, you guys. Appreciate it. Samantha, yeah, yeah. I turned on some lights in here. To be honest, I'm getting hungry too. So, but I'm having fun with you guys, so we can hang out a little bit longer here. Where we're at? We're exactly 3 hours on this stream. It's a record for me. Let's see here. Appreciate your time. You're welcome. Can you speak a little more about your storage? You mentioned as an alternative. Okay. Okay. So if you do normal Amazon FBA, obviously there are limitations on how much inventory you can ship in based on the size and weight and category that you're in. Okay. And Amazon charges you based on that. That's what they charge for the storage fee. So it can be beneficial based on your product to have your inventory stored somewhere else, right? So you can either have it stored at a warehouse or at your own house, like in your garage or whatever, and then only ship in more inventory when you need to on Amazon, right? And the other option then is if you want to do FBM, right? So that's where you can have a 3PL place store and fulfill your orders for you. Okay, so those are your options there. One thing to mention too is some freight forwarders actually offer that service too, because they'll have warehouses near the ports, right? Either on the West Coast or East Coast. So when your shipment arrives from China, for example, they'll actually store it in one of their warehouses. I don't want to say for free, but they sometimes will store it there temporarily for you. You'll have to talk to them and negotiate, and so they may be able to hold it more long term for you as well. You just have to negotiate and see what services they have. Yeah, so the profitable keywords are typically less than 15 keywords. Yeah, some of them only have like 4 or 5. Um, Please read my entire question. You partially answered me. Thank you for your videos. You're welcome. Um, Shoot. I don't know what your question was. Sorry, guys. I'm kind of just reading the questions, and I'm not really catching the person that's asking them. Um, Jacob Turner. Okay, I think you're stuck on this whole counterfeit thing. That's where you need to do your own research. You can't believe what a supplier tells you that if they tell you it's not patented. Okay, they may not know, or they could be lying to you. But ultimately, in the end, it's your ass on the line if you get sued, not your supplier. Okay, so you need to do your due diligence and do your own research. You can look on Google Patents, you can look on usbto.gov, or if you're really adamant on moving forward with that product, you need to hire a patent attorney to do a thorough search to make sure there's no patent on it. Midian, how long do you track? You want to track for at least 2 weeks, okay? I tracked for, okay, so there's one time I was going to move forward with a product, and for me, I like to collect data. I'm a total data guy, so if you watch my videos, you can probably see that, okay? So I tracked all the way until I was going to make a payment, and that's normally my payment with my supplier, and that's normally what I do because there's no reason for me not to continue to track it, okay? And it was like almost 2 months had during that time had passed where I was going to make my payment to the supplier. But as I was about to make that payment and make that decision, the data from product tracking, instead of just 2 weeks, it had been 5 or 6 weeks. That data was showing me that the sales was declining and it wasn't what I expected originally. Okay, so I had to stop and I gave up on that product. So a lot of people will see that as something bad, like they wasted their time, and that's a pessimistic point of view. I'm a very optimistic person, okay? So for me, the way I see it is it saved me from making a bad investment. If I only did 2 weeks of product tracking and then, oh yeah, it looks good, and then deal with finding suppliers, getting the best prices, doing all this stuff, a month goes by and I just make a payment and go for it, well, I would have been stuck with a bad product because the following 4 weeks of product tracking showed me that it wasn't what I expected, so it saved me. Okay, that's my optimistic point of view. So you guys got to have the right mindset when you're doing this kind of stuff. Okay, you can't be lazy either. Oh man, I'm getting lost on where I am on these chats now. So I'm just gonna pick one here. Will you upload that video to your channel? This live stream? Actually, I haven't even thought about it. Yeah, I guess I could. I didn't really think about it. Normally, I'm pretty OCD, so I have things planned ahead of time. So I have everything under control. Again, this stream was supposed to be a test stream on my new YouTube channel that literally has 0 subscribers. So I wasn't expecting anybody to be watching this, and it's for my sim racing videos that I wanted to live stream. Okay, so that's why I'm sitting in this seat rather than like in my office or something. But yeah, I don't know. I might put this up for you guys to watch later. Bob and Boggery, could you recommend a good 3PL? Yeah, prime0prep.com. I'm not affiliated with them at all, so but they're a good company. It's prime0prep.com. Can you share a good strategy about PPC MiniChat, please? I don't have any videos on MiniChat, but definitely incorporate that. It's pretty easy to do. You just need to create an account on MiniChat and then create an account on Zapier, and you connect the two, and then you can create your chat workflow. Okay, it's actually pretty simple to do. But as for PPC, if you go to my YouTube channel, I have tons of videos on that. Where do you go? Good place to find freight forwarders. Look on, go to, let's see here. I have videos on it as well, but let me see here. Let me find something here. I'll post it in the chat box for you guys. Why is this? Let's see here. My Google Chrome is all acting up here. For some reason, the bookmarks aren't working. Where are we here? I'll get that link for you guys in a second. It's just Google Chrome's acting up over here. Do you think a variation of the garlic press will come back with a vengeance next year? Yeah, that garlic press has gotten a lot of attention in the last couple of years. I think, yeah, everybody used that as an example. No, I don't think so. I think it's a well played out, saturated niche. Yeah. Let's see. Am I a full-time FBA seller? Yeah, I guess you could say that. It's one of my businesses. And what's my background? Background as far as business. I started my first business while still in college. It was a online gaming business. It kind of was an overnight success. It took off the day it launched, and it had at one point over 1 million subscribers playing that game, and that's kind of spawned into my online software development company that I still run till today. And then as far as Amazon's concerned, I started that 2 years ago, and that was just one of the businesses I just decided to. At the time, I was looking for another revenue stream, so it just happened to be Amazon. Do you need to let Amazon know what products you're selling? I mean, technically no, but you need to create a product listing, right? And so the listing will have the product you're selling. So, um, so, so you essentially yes, because you're selling that product on Amazon, you got to create a listing for it, but you don't need to tell them ahead of time, if that's what you're asking. Did I take a course? Yes, I took a course. Basically, I discovered Amazon in July of 2017, and then literally like a week into just looking into it, I decided to buy a course, and that taught me everything I needed to know basically in like a day. I just marathoned it, and then just went full steam ahead. Show us the screen. The screen that I'm on right now. Let me see here. Let me get this. Hold on one second. Let's see. So, I guess I can try to take this camera off and show you guys. Make sure there's nothing on here that I don't want you guys to see. Give me 1 second here. XXL or XLR1XX2. Just call it Transformer guy because all I see is your Transformer logo. But give me a second here. Okay, so if I turn this around, if this will reach here. Let's see if I can get this to reach. Okay, so yeah, so this is my gaming rig. I don't know if you can see that. So this is the screen I'm watching your chat on right here. This is the rig here. And then this is the other monitor while I'm racing. It shows me all my other stuff that I have going on here. Okay, and then there's the PC there. All right, there's a little tour of the racing rig there. Get the snap back on there. If it'll stay. All right, there you go. Let's see. Terra Lole. You have 6 units, sent to 3 warehouses. So, no, when you create a shipping plan and Amazon has you ship it to separate warehouses, you bear that cost to ship it to those warehouses, right? Now, if Amazon just has you ship it to one warehouse without you using the inventory placement option, then it doesn't cost you anything other than the shipping to ship it to that one warehouse. And if Amazon internally decides to distribute it to other warehouses, they do it on their own. It doesn't cost you anything. Okay, but if you do decide to turn on the inventory placement option so that you only have to ship it to one warehouse, then Amazon will charge you 50 cents per unit to do that. Yeah, modern hippie. Yeah, exactly, right? I think the camera here is a little crooked. We've got to find a better solution for that. Yeah, a lot of products do have patents on them, Jacob. So that's why you got to do your due diligence, okay? Evil to Hope. I use Jungle Scout and AMZ Scout, and both of their. I use the Jungle Scout product tracker, but AMZ Scout has their own product tracker too. And I have links in in all of my videos. I have links for coupons. So if you do decide to get them, make sure you use the coupons and get a discount. Christian Barreto, thank you. You're welcome. Can you share how you started? If you're talking about Amazon, I told this story about 20 minutes ago, but I'll give you a cliff notes. So in 2017, a couple of my friends and I, we were just bullshitting around trying to make a quick buck. And I decided to put some money into Bitcoin because it was through the roof at that time. And I knew better, but I thought I could make a quick buck. And literally in 20 minutes, I lost 15 grand. I watched it disappear. So because I was looking at a lot of business stuff online, on my YouTube feed, these Amazon videos were showing up. And I didn't know anything about Amazon at that time. I just had an Amazon Prime account that was buying stuff from Amazon, right? I didn't know exactly how it worked. And so I eventually clicked on a video, and that's what opened my eyes to what Amazon really was. And so that's how I got started selling on Amazon. Okay. Yeah. What bike do you have? So I have a 2009 CBR 600RR that I customized, so it's Stormtrooper white and black. I don't know how you knew how to bike, but yeah, I have a bike. I actually stopped. It's in my garage, but I actually stopped riding that. I used to ride it like every day, but one of my really good friends, best friends, he almost died in a bike accident, so I kind of parked it ever since that happened. So, um, yeah, I do my racing now, with a roll cage and body panels around to protect you, not just skin. Jacob Turner, what course did you take? I took Tanner J. Fox's course. How much did the course you took cost? Javante, when I took his course, it was $800. What do you think about picking a product with? So Christian, I wouldn't change anything as far as product research is concerned because of the pandemic. I would just be more careful analyzing the data that you're seeing from like March onward. So I would be looking more at the historical data, like prior to February. Modern day hippie. Thanks. Yeah. Again, this was on a whim too, because I'm not into gaming. I haven't played games in decades, and because the racing season's on hold, and we're not racing because usually there's at least one race every month that I'm traveling to go do. Um, I just decided to buy this and set this up here so I can at least get some racing at home and see how I like it. And I used to have, the cheaper versions like for Xbox and PlayStation, and I had two side by side, so when friends come over, we could play together. And that was like 10 years ago, and I bought it and set it all up and really only played like 10 hours because it just didn't feel right. It was too arcadish. But after doing some research, all this setup that I have now is like it's professional, like pro quality stuff. So it's really similar to what real life physics for a car is. So I decided to give it a try. Terra Lolale. Butchering your name, man. You're welcome. Let's see. Yeah, so as far as tariffs, Meta Larta Diva, it really depends on the materials, right? So some of them are unaffected, whereas others have the max 25%. Random guy. Yeah, regardless if you're doing DDP or with a freight forward or whatever, you need to ship to wherever Amazon stipulates on the shipping plan. So if it's one place, ship it to one. If it's three, you got to ship it to three. Okay. So if your supplier's arranging the shipment, then yeah, you got to email those labels to your supplier. If it's a freight forwarder, then you got to email it to your freight forwarder. Midian, how old are you? I'm 43. A lot of people think I'm a lot younger than I really am. So that's why I have a lot of experience under my belt when I started Amazon. What's my prediction for this year's Q4? Optimistically, I think it's gonna be the same as last year because I think within the next month or two, hopefully things will somewhat get back to normal, and people will have more disposable income again. And so I think the markets will somewhat recover by Q4. Okay. If however this lockdown and people still can't go back to their regular jobs by Thanksgiving, which I don't think is likely, then Q4 might suffer. All right. But I'm optimistic. How are your products doing now? So they took a dive, like most people. Not my products are all non-essential, so sales has been affected due to this pandemic. Where do you check for patents? Okay, I have videos on that, Jacob. Again, if you search my channel, I have tons of videos on that. Okay, um, I'll give you a link to one of them. And I don't usually use this computer here for surfing, so it's kind of odd having four screens in front of me trying to do all this. Normally do this at on my office computer here, so I got a keyboard over here and I'm looking at the screen over there. It's kind of weird here. I feel like I'm in the Matrix. Let's see. So there you go. So this one was for Jacob. Here's a link to a patent video. How come you don't claim you're non-patented when you manufacture? Because you can't. You can't patent generic products. You have to have something unique to patent. What game did you create? Okay, so the first game it was called Midnight Challenge. It's still going now, but it's very niche. It's a turn-based tile game, and yeah, so it spawned into 5 or 6 different games, and it really took off because it was during the dot-com boom, and then when the whole dot-com thing kind of died is when the games didn't really die, but they suffered, and then modern smartphones came out too, so that kind of took an effect on my gaming business. But, yeah, I mean, I'm having a lot of fun. Again, we're at 3.5 hours now. I don't want to end this because I enjoy talking to you guys, but I am getting kind of hungry here, so I'm gonna have to stop and get something to eat. I doubt you guys want to watch me make some food. But yeah, I might do this once a week. I don't know. Keep in touch with you guys, and then if you want to throw some questions my way, and we don't have to talk about Amazon. We can talk about other things too. So I'm open to whatever. So saying the freight forwarder. Oh yeah, freight forwarder link. Let me 1 second here. Okay, so oops. Okay, so this video here goes over how to find freight forwarders. Whoever asked that, who asked that? Who asked the question about freight forwarders? That's the link for it. Do another one sometime. Yeah. It's like Bob Ross, happy accidents. I don't know. Well, if you guys really enjoyed this, maybe post something in my Facebook group. And, if I get half a dozen, I don't know. If there's a good enough response there in my Facebook group where, there's like 20,000 people in there, then yeah, maybe I'll do this once a week or something. I don't know. And you guys can let me know what the best time is, because I don't think most people are in the U.S. I think there's a lot of people like in Australia and the U.K. as well. So maybe you can pick a time where it works best for most people, and it doesn't have to be on a weekday. We can do weekends too. Yeah, so maybe if we post something in the Facebook group, we can get more input on that. Do you play any musical instruments? Absolutely not. I played the recorder in grade school and the ukulele in grade school. Um, no, I don't play any musical instruments. I don't have any musical talent whatsoever. Prime Zero Prep. Yeah, let me get you the link for Prime Zero. don't know why I don't use the screen over here that with the keyboard that's on top of it. I'm like looking over here at this screen and the keyboard's over here. Let me just move this browser over here, okay? uh, retarded. Okay, Prime Zero Prep. Okay, there you go. Whoever asked that, this is the URL for Prime Zero Prep. Let's see. Where are we at here? Thanks for your candid. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, good chatting with you too, Modern Hippie. So saying, enjoy your dinner, breakfast, whatever. It's dinner. I had lunch like, what time is it now? It's 9 o'clock. Yeah, I had lunch at like 1 o'clock today. So, glad to see you back. Where have you been? Grandpa. I've been taking a break. I was feeling the YouTube burnout. So, beginning of the year, I decided to just step away before I totally got fed up with making videos. Not that I did, but I just stepped back from making videos so I can, you know, refresh. And what I plan on doing now is doing one video a day. So Monday through Friday, I have a video. So what I was doing before was the 2 long form videos, like Mondays and Thursdays. But I think what I want to do is some short form videos on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I got some ideas for that. I think it'd be a lot of fun. But then we have this accidental live stream that I did today. And it looks like a lot of you guys are enjoying it. So maybe I'll fill in one of those days with one of these live streams too or something. Let's see. Yeah, all the best, Pot Pal, SFX forever. If that's what I think it means. You must be from way back from grade school. Not sure who you are, but I'm pretty sure SFX doesn't mean special effects. So if it thinks what I think it means, you're an old-time friend. Don't know who you are, though. I think this time slot was best for all of us here. Yeah, again, it works for me too. So what time did we start? 3.5 hours ago. Yeah, around 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm on Pacific time, Laz. Bah, man, you're from Finland. Cool. Glad to have you here. Oh, it's good to hear too. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are finding value over there in Finland. I've never been, but I'd like to visit one day. In CA, like California or Canada? I grew up in Canada. I'm actually in Washington State, but I do visit California like once a year. Yay, you make the best videos. Thanks. I'm glad you enjoy them. Content creator burnout. Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. I didn't know what it was, but I kept hearing the other people talk about it in their videos because they would take some time off and then when they come back, they talk about it. And these are mostly the bloggers or people doing daily videos and stuff. And I was doing, videos twice a week. And I did that consistently for almost 2 years. So, and I enjoyed doing it. I love doing it, but I felt myself getting that burnout. So that's why I forced myself to stop. And so now I'm getting those creative juices going again. And this live stream is great, catching up with you guys too. So, under Jungle Scout or Helium 10, both are excellent software packages. I don't have anything bad to say about either of them. I use them both. I mean, my go-to is Jungle Scout, but I have them all, right? So, use the one that you think that you feel the easiest to use and understand. There's no right or wrong tool. It's just the ones that are free. You really get what you pay for, so I don't recommend those. But most all the modern tools nowadays have pretty much, they're all top notch. So. Maybe make a YouTube live stream about YouTube. Yeah, yeah. Anything about business, I can sit here and talk about forever. I mean, if you guys want to talk about stocks, you want to talk about Day trading. I mean, you want to talk about, YouTube or whatever. I'm open to whatever. I can talk about this stuff all day. If you guys want to talk about racing, we can do that too. Talk about cars. Um, yeah, I mean, you can talk about martial arts, sim racing, whatever. I'm an open book. So, um, are you a night owl, Crescent? I am recently. Ever since I stopped making the videos, I've been at night owl my whole life. So literally, I would stay up till the wee hours of the night, and then I just wake up whenever. I never had a 9 to 5, so I really never was on like a time schedule of any kind, right? And then and then I went through my party phases, so that really went hand in hand because then we're up all night, right? And I always had people over at my house. It was the party house, with the hot tub and I don't want to get too much details about that, but so people would be over until 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, So that just was my life. And then once I, you know, fell out of that lifestyle and got back into business again, yeah, then I was getting up at like, well, when I was day trading, I was getting up at like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, right? Because I'm on the West Coast, and to hit the stock market on the East Coast, you gotta be up for East Coast time. So yeah, then I was going to bed at like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and then recently, I was getting up at 6:30, like my alarm. Like if I show you my alarm right now, see, I have a daily alarm here for 6:30, right? So I get up at 6:30 every day still, and just get the day started. But again, play it by ear. Sometimes I go to bed late, get up late, whatever. I'm not really on a schedule. I think the live stream was extra fun and people cherish it and appreciate it more since we're quarantined. Yeah, I know, right? I have a lot of friends that are very extroverted, and that's affected them the most, right? Because they're always people having people over, having like dinner parties or weekend events, game nights or going out to restaurants, whatever. I'm actually really introverted, so um, I went through my phases where I was going out and doing stuff, but I'm perfectly content by myself. Like I live by myself. I broke up with my last girlfriend like 3 years ago, so this was a bachelor pad, still is, right? And so this whole quarantine thing really hasn't affected my life. I don't need to go anywhere. I have food delivered to me every week, so yeah. So it's good to connect with you guys. I have no problem chatting with people. So this is kind of my way of connecting with the real world, I guess. Google Lapland. Yeah, I see. I mean, the most I see through Finland because I follow a lot of the professional racing series like Formula One, MotoGP, and whatever, and so a lot of the drivers are from all around the world. So a few of them are from Finland, so we do get to see some stuff from their homeland. But yeah, definitely would love to go visit over there. I do want to do a trip like all over Europe um, uh, one of these days. Do I use this computer setup for day trading? No, I don't do day trading anymore. I did day trading. It would be probably around 2008 to 2010 um, is when I did day trading. So back then I had like a 8 monitor setup. So and monitors back then weren't nearly this big. So they were all like 22-inch or 21-inch monitors, and I had some of them vertically and horizontal to get the charts that I wanted. Um, but yeah, but no, this one here is brand new. I just put this sim racing rig together literally like a month ago. I had to custom order all the stuff, right, to get it here and then assemble it, and then this one's strictly for my first sim racing. It's all it is. This is the first time I'm actually using it to browse the internet and stuff. So, Grandpa, Formula One here. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm waiting for Formula One to come back here. So I'm actually following Lando Norris like every day on his live streams. So, Grandpa, I don't know if you follow the online e-racing stuff, but Lando Norris is a good one to follow. He's pretty big in the sim racing. That sucks. Your battery died, Midian. Yeah, it's good to have you here, though. I look forward to seeing you in the next one as well. Jacob, generic means there's no patent on it. Okay, like for example, um, like a garlic press. Okay, like the examples I use in my videos, right? A garlic press or a can opener. You can't patent those because there's nothing special about it. You have to. The only time you can patent something is if you have something, a unique idea or function or feature that no one has thought of yet. Okay, then you can patent it. Okay. No, I'm in the U.S. only. Uh, Javante. Grandpa, I'm not sure what you mean by lower percentages. Do you mean the inventory restrictions? It doesn't affect you per se, right? Because people are still buying stuff. It's just that in this current climate, especially since a lot of people don't have jobs now, sales has really ramped up for essential products and down for non-essential, right? And obviously, due to the restrictions on inbound shipments, if you ran out of stock, then you aren't unable to sell anything. But they've slowly unfroze with limited unfreezes for quantities, so you're able to send in 50 units at a time for certain categories now. Yeah, that Grandpa, the new generation of drivers, I love them because they're far more personable. You can see their charisma, and they're not so like like I don't want to use a brainwash, but not so media present, like polished for the camera. They're more open and they show more of their personality. Modern day hippie, yeah, can opener, garlic press combo, do it, and a salad cutter. uh, Yes, definitely must eat. So, yeah, guys, I think I'm going to call it a day on this stream. I had a great time, and thank you for all of those that were here since the beginning. Um, yeah, we went through a lot of stuff here. So, I might actually put this up for people to view. I mean, I think it's going to be kind of odd seeing this backdrop for a live stream. But I think there might be some value here for people that have some questions and stuff. But from what I've found anyway, when I do just a generic FAQ kind of video, it doesn't get as many views than the ones where it's specific to a certain topic, right? Because most people are looking for an answer for a specific question they have, whereas a live stream, it's kind of random. So maybe I'll put it up and see how it does. Who knows? But please, if you aren't a member of my Facebook group, go ahead and join it. And then if someone wants to make a post, or I can make a post and see what kind of input or how many people would like to do a live stream. And if we get enough support for that, I'll definitely add that to this list that I'm got going on here. And we'll do a live stream every week. Totally open to that. I'll take one more question, Jacob. Does Amazon ask you who's your manufacturer? No, they do not. But when you create a shipping plan, you're probably going to put their address on there. So, yeah, I wouldn't be worried about trying to keep your stuff secret. I mean, it's really majority of the time, no one's trying to steal your idea or steal your stuff, whatever, right? So I don't worry about it. If that's going to stop you from moving forward with selling on Amazon, then you're never gonna be end up selling on Amazon. Oh yeah, send the link. I guess that would help. Send the link for the group. The link for the group is here. Okay. So yeah, I had a great time. This 3 hours and 41 minutes literally flew by. So I hope you guys had just as much fun as I did, and it was great catching up with some of you guys. I recognize some of the names, so I know I've talked to you before somewhere, so or answered your questions somewhere. So it's good to catch up with you in real time. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next live stream, or at least if you have questions, post them in the Facebook group. I check it every single day, and I try to answer every single question in there. Okay, so and if you're new to my channel, my name is Crescent, and I have tons of content on my YouTube channel related to Amazon. So if you're looking for any information on how to start your business, or if you have questions with your existing business, go through there. I have playlists, and basically on every aspect of Amazon, I have videos on it. And if there's something that there isn't, go ahead and message me, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Okay, so yeah, good to catch up with you guys. I'm gonna get some dinner now, so I'm gonna kill the stream. All right, enjoy the rest of your day, guys.